cuffs are off, man. Get right, too many left in these leagues, but I ain't gonna...
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up everybody? It's Marcus Grant from NFL Network.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I got to give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
Marking often, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up, yeah. Don't roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves.
What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. I'm Anthony, aka Rasta. This is Get Right Fantasy Network, and I'm here on a Wednesday, our first Wednesday show with my boy Fish and Frank. What up, Frank? How you doing?
What up, peoples? I'm doing all right, man.
Oh, okay. I was gonna give you more time, and then
no, go ahead.
Dead air time. You know, I got to talk. You know, if it's even quiet for half a second, I'm jumping in there.
I'm like,
exactly. But we're so excited, man, for a lot of reasons. First and foremost, for everyone to be excited. We have football tomorrow, man. It's September 6th. We got Chiefs, Lions tomorrow at Arrowhead. It's going to be fun. You saw in the thumbnail, we don't know if Kelce's going to play. He's questionable. We'll get into that here as well. Another reason to be happy. You and I have a real money live draft going on as we speak.
Yes.
The reason I'm even more happy is I'm about to be on the clock here right now. So
you're up.
I'm up. I'm on the clock. So
let's share the draft board here. Can I do that? Bam.
Yeah, go right ahead.
There you go.
So so you can bring it up. I'm on the clock. It's a full PPR tight end premium league here. We've seen 4 running backs, 4 wide receivers go off the board, 1 tight end. Kind of screwed here at the 110. Normally this is it's a tough choice, but I think I have to go Arthur Juan. I need a piece of him. And let me make sure I turn off all the volumes on here.
Wow.
So Arthur won my first share out of like all 17 leagues I'm in at the 110. So here we go. Frank, you're right after me at the 110. We'll see who you get.
I think I'm gonna just leave the mess to Jerry. If you don't take Mahomes, I'll take Mahomes after Jerry.
Oh, you're trying to take Mahomes in the first round like that, huh? You're one of those. He's been going in the third.
I already have in another league. He fell to me. He fell to me here on the 11th spot, which is kind of crazy to me. I'll take Bijan.
There it is. And that's probably where I was thinking maybe I wanted to go, but full PPR, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex. I'm trying to get a nice wide receiver build.
Jerry went running back. See, look,
on the turn.
I can't pass him now, can I?
I don't know.
You, Patrick Mahomes?
I'm definitely not taking Mahomes, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, who else is going to get Mahomes? Then he's going to go further down?
Yeah, I mean, he might pair up with this Kelce. You know, we got to all prevent that, hopefully. We'll see what happens.
He's not going to get that far.
Oh, he will. I've seen these guys on Underdog, which we'll get into here in a second. They're falling to the 3rd now.
Really?
But that's just me. Hey, it only matters with these 11 guys in here. So while you're thinking you got some time on the clock still, you just let me know when you make your pick. I'm going to get to...
I'm considering Mahomes, man. That's all I'm you know, but all my other
Kelce. If Kelce's out...
Looks so much better without Mahomes. I've been practicing without having Mahomes. And I don't like to take a quarterback early. Although Mahomes is obviously great. It's just hard to draft after that to me. It seems like you just put it in there. You know what I mean? Like you're on the spotlight. You know, I'm going with my boy. Come on. Like I can't get some of that.
There it is.
I don't usually take Cowboy players, and I really try to stay away from them. I used to be, I mean, you know, when you first start fantasy, you're like, oh, let me draft all my guys, right? And you go for all your Cowboys or 49ers or Raiders or, you know, we're all in the Bay over here, so there's a lot of that going on. But, you know, whatever your team is, right? And you start drafting all those guys and you realize it's not a good idea. And you also don't want to have too many guys on one team. It's one thing to stack 1 or 2 guys, maybe even 3. But I was going overboard. I wouldn't want to do that anymore. I don't like stacking too deep that way. I think you kind of get stuck.
Yeah. It made it hard, but for me, I'm glad you took CD because that would have been tough maybe to pass on him. I know you're the Cowboys guy, but instead, I'm gonna go with the guy that's probably almost a short 170 targets. Could be, could be.
God? You're gonna go with the Sun God.
No, that's who I was almost gonna go for, but
Garrett Wilson, then.
No, I still can't pass Devontae Adams, man.
Really? No,
Like,
I can't mess with him right now. No.
Oh,
Sorry.
dude, he's gonna. I mean, we've seen Debo finish as a top 7 guy. Ayuk's, was up there too, as far as points per game with Jimmy G. Everyone was saying the same thing last year when he was going to go from Rodgers to Carr and was still basically a top receiver every week, points per game.
Yeah.
Second round pick, wide receiver 2, and a 3 wide receiver 1 flex full PPR league. Give me Devontae Adams paired up with Arthur 1. I'll take him.
Arthur 1. I like how you say it.
Arthur 1.
Yeah. So the
there
next
it is.
thing is, like, when is Mahomes going to come off the board? Who's going to take Mahomes?
Well, somebody has to make sure we don't allow the Kelce stack. That's the Kelce Mahomes.
Whoever
stack.
these guys are next.
It's on one of these guys here.
Nobody allows the Kelce. I'm going to even post that on there. Nobody allow the Kelce stack.
No, you can't. Can you do that? Is that what's the etiquette
not?
there?
We can't talk
I mean, I guess we're
right?
streaming in the entire draft, so I guess there is no. There it is. Well, we didn't. We allowed it, so we can't tell other people to allow it. But either way, man. While that's going on, before we get back to our picks here, let me get some of the housekeeping out of the way. So it's going to be real fun, man. So again, I'll tell you guys about UnderdogFantasy.com. For those of you guys who don't know, Frank will bring up the banner here in a second.
I got you.
You got it. Yeah, best ball platform, man. A lot of their season-long contests are ending tomorrow, so make sure you guys go jump in. They got the Best Ball Mania 4, where they're making 3 millionaires, 3 million to first place, 2 million to second place, 1 million to third. It's only a $25 entry. Go in there, draft your team. It's going to be best ball, which means, for those who don't know what that is, no waivers, no trading. It's no season-long commitment. It's basically like doing a mock draft. When you feel like, oh, I drafted the great team and it was just a mock draft, this is a way to have those mock drafts actually count and potentially make you some money at the end of the year. More importantly, it just keeps you up to date of ADP and what's all going on, so that you can, come dominate your actual real drafts like you're seeing Frank and I do here. So make sure you guys go visit UnderdogFantasy.com. When you sign up and use that promo code GetRight, you'll be able to deposit your first what do you call it? First deposit. You'll double your first deposit.
Double your deposit.
Up to $100. So again, use that promo code GetRight and come check it out. See, I can't even think and do a read right now because we got a draft going on.
Right?
Yeah, it's like it's easy when it's a mock because I'm like, I don't even care. I know who I'm trying to get. But like I'm trying to figure out what other builds people are trying to go with here. Ooh, we get a quarterback in the second, but it's not Mahomes, it's Hurts. So if Twisted Crew doesn't come out here and grab Mahomes, we're going to get a Kelce stack here on the turn. Kelce Mahomes. And there it is. It's there for the taking if he wants it.
It hurts?
Yeah, he goes Hurts. But yeah, we'll see if the Kelce winner goes Mahomes or maybe if he, GG's mob squad. Oh, he got it.
We allowed it to happen.
Yeah, allowed it to happen. We all just lost the league. We better hope Kelce's out for a month. So let's talk about it, man. Since that kind of just happened, it's perfect segue into that. One of our big news items here is Chiefs star Travis Kelce, questionable tonight after hyperextending his knee in practice the other day. It's kind of been the big news, these last couple days. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? What's the timeline? I've heard, several different things. I've heard, they're going to shut him down for a month. I heard there's a chance he could still just play tomorrow, and everything in between. So if you have Kelce on your team, you do. Are you starting him? Are you? Oh, there you go. So are you starting him? Are you going elsewhere?
Tomorrow. I'm waiting for a little bit more news tomorrow. If he plays, I start. That's just the way I look at it. I feel a lot better now that I know it is not a soft.
Nothing structural.
It's a bone. Like it hurts. You guys maybe class
bone
bruise or whatever, bone bruise. I feel a lot better. That was like
ACL's intact. The MRI, ACL's intact. There is swelling. Yeah, there is swelling. So do you risk inflaming it? I mean, they're a Super Bowl contender. Do you risk it week 1 or do Yeah, I mean, as a Kelce owner, would you prefer that they just sat him for 2 weeks
I think
just
1
to
week
make
is good
sure?
enough because
Okay.
they're on a Thursday game right now,
Okay.
and you know what I mean. They're early, and it's not like a Sunday, right? You know, they already get a couple extra days. So if they sit this one game, it kind of gives them a couple extra days to start week 2 and get better. And that's probably what's going to happen. Honestly, like why would they trot him out there? They want to make sure his guy. You know, obviously he's never missed a game, but then again, he's never missed a game. He hasn't missed a game since
Yeah,
his
10
rookie
years.
year or whatever. So who knows? He might want to keep that streak alive, suit up, start the game. Who knows if he even, you know, what I mean, like maybe sees one touch or whatever, and then you know the backup goes in there, so he keep the streak alive.
That would be the worst. That'd be
Which
the
I
worst.
think is what is really going to happen. They're going to keep the streak alive for him because he can suit up, and then sit him.
Yeah, that's tough.
Why
Yeah,
would
it's
you
really
not do
tough.
that? You know what I mean?
Or
Like, why
maybe you
would
just
not?
don't put him in on blocking plays to where he's like trying to plant and push people around. Like, let him just go run routes.
Let him go
If
run around
anything.
near the end zone.
Yeah, exactly. Score a
Let's get
touchdown,
those
then
in.
we're good. Yeah, get him out of there while he's blocking. Get Noah Gray in there for that. So what's up, Calvin? Saying let's get right. Let's get it right. Absolutely. Here on a Wednesday, we got Albert checking us out here on a Wednesday. What's up, Albert? How you doing? We got Warren Loft who was in here early
Hold on.
in the chat. So he says, "What's up, guys? Christian Watson has a hamstring issue. I'm too nervous to start him now. Would you start Sky Moore with Kelce potentially out, or maybe he already got the news that he's out, got the inside scoop versus the Lions, or would you roll with Drake London versus the Panthers?" So Sky Moore or Drake London?
Drake London.
I'd have to go Sky Moore on that one for me personally. Really? Yeah, with no Kelce, like he's the only kind of trusted target, so to speak, for Mahomes. Although I think Mahomes is just comfortable with anybody, really.
Yeah. He spreads it out.
Yeah, so we'll see.
He's back. He's not hurt. He's like listed to play. He's listed to start.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think Sky Moore is the guy to own. You guys know I like Justin Ross and Rashee Rice, but yeah. See, so Rafi's with me. Rafi, what's up, Rafi?
I like
what's
Drake
up.
London though.
George LeBron, what's up, man? That's our boy from Australia, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. What's up, man? Let me know if that's. I'm pretty sure that's where he's from.
Going off the
he's a Heat.
What is it? A 2 QB league?
So,
what happened here?
I know, right? Yeah, we were like playing Superflex. Everyone freaking out.
They let Mahomes slide. Now everybody's worried about getting a quarterback. What the hell?
Right. So full disclosure, let you guys know what's going on. This is Minor Frank's, and actually Dustin's in here too at the where is he at? 107. He's in here. Everybody but Mike. You guys know if Mike gets more than like 3 leagues, he can't handle it. But I think he made it to 5 this year, so that's good. We're working on him. But this is our actual home league, real money draft. It's going to be $100 league. This is our first year because it's kind of a spin-off league of our main home league, or one of our main home leagues. So we got a bunch of people that wanted to keep. Well, originally we didn't want to keep it. We put it to a vote to try to change some settings, like we all should. But there was enough people still. It was kind of like split down the middle. Half the league wanted to kind of keep it the same, keep the integrity. It's been around for 20 years. The other half of the league was interested in updating it, kind of, because we play non-PPR. Like we have little bonuses here and there, but sometimes games are like 70-64. Like you have to grind out wins in that league, which it makes it fun. It's not going to lie. It's definitely fun. But of course we still wanted to play with these same guys with updated settings. So we basically did a spin-off.
Going off so early though. I'm just
oh yeah. They started a quarterback run. Hey, I'll take it.
Like, why don't they take Mahomes, though? What were you
guys going to give Ridley to me right here? Oh, man. You guys let me get Arthur Juan, Devontae Adams, and Calvin Ridley. It's over. League's over. So anyway, so we wanted to update.
Because we're at a tight end premium.
Yeah, I was hoping that came back around. I couldn't pass that.
That wasn't going to happen. Come on.
Oh, okay. All right. I just needed to make sure.
I don't even know what my draft is going to look like at the end of this, but I prepared.
Take best available and figure it out from there, right?
Figure it out later. Yeah. I'm like, running back, wide receiver, tight end. That's like a no start for me. I don't like any of that. But considering the league that we're in and what's going on with this tight end premium, I'm not going to pass up Andrews in the 3rd. That's exactly where he's been being drafted and whatnot. I think I got him right at the right spot at the end of the 3rd, considering the tight end premium. He's questionable, got some things going on, but he should be a lot better this year. I'll take a chance on him. Like, he's the number 2 tight end, like literally, right? I mean, behind Kelce.
Yeah.
At this point, he might be the number 1 if Kelce's down. So let's go. But, no, just kidding, because I want Kelce. I'm just talking crazy right there.
No, it's good. It's good. So like you said, it's tight end premium. We went to full PPR from standard. 6 point per passing touchdown, which you've always played. We're changing from a continual rolling waiver list to fab bidding. And what else did we change? We said tight end premium. Oh, and we're taking out kickers and defense. So and add an additional flex. So 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, 2 running back, 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, 6 bench. So it should be fun. 14 rounds is what we're doing here. And I think a lot of these guys they've underestimated the full PPR. Like, a lot of these receivers can score basically
the same as
a point or 2 less than some of these quarterbacks that just went off the board here in the third.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of crazy talk to me. Yeah, that was a little crazy QB run. Everybody kind of freaked out there. Hopefully,
I'll take Keenan Allen that fell to me. I'll take the Mark Andrews that fell to me for sure.
Yeah, that's tough. And now it put me in a situation where I want to take Amari Cooper right here as my freaking flex, which is crazy because I have him in some leagues as my wide receiver 2, but then I've basically committed to a 0 RB build, and that's going to be tough for me.
George, back from Australia, first live for the season. Sorry.
There we go. Heck yeah. No, always call that out. So I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. Everything in my brain is telling me to go Joe Mixon right here. And that's hopefully people in the chat. Where you at, Rafi? I know you're watching.
It was hard for me to mess up on him and Brees Hall. I want to take a flyer on Brees Hall.
Oh, I'm not touching Brees in a paid league. No, thanks. No. Yeah, so I think I'm going to go Mixon here because, I mean, I have my 3 solid receivers.
Yeah.
I would love to go Cooper here. But I know this league, and they get running back heavy. There's a couple guys with no running backs here already. So that really, really scares me. Like, I don't want my running back 1 to be like Cam Akers or like DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, you don't want none of that. You got
and I'm comfortable with more receivers here. I got it.
You already put it in queue?
I was draining that one down. Yeah, I was draining it down. What's available again? Nothing. Joe Mixon's available, Rafi.
Yeah.
So I go Joe Mixon here in the 4th, kind of modified as 0 RB here. Couldn't fully commit to it, but I got AJ Brown, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, Joe Mixon. What are you guys thinking of that? Frank's sitting here in the 10 spot with Bijan Robinson, CeeDee Lamb, 11. I'm sorry, I'm in the 10. Mark Andrews, Keenan Allen as his wide receiver 2. Again, tight end premium, full PPR. Who start you guys like better, and then we'll let you guys see what Dustin did here in the 107. And
I normally would not have taken Andrews there, but since it is a tight end premium league and they get 1.5 points and yada yada yada, I did opt to take an early tight end. Normally, I would wait tight end till 7, 8, 9 round. Like, I'm
for
not
sure
taking tight end early.
Tight end premiums. Yeah, I'm waiting for that tight end run
other
to
than
just
maybe
come
Kelce,
to.
I don't like to have the choice of having the Kelce drop to me, so I'm glad that somebody took him at the 1-2. Got that out of the way. I can't believe they let him stack with Mahomes. Whatever, I should have just took him, but I didn't. I mocked the teams, and I just don't like the team when I take a quarterback early like that. I just feel like I'm missing out on a lot of the key players that go around. You know what I mean? And then when you're at the end right here, it's just
and you're kind of stuck with other. You're kind of stuck with other guys there. So yeah, you got Neanderthal ball here going Barkley, Henry, Metcalf, Samuel from the 12. Again, you went Bijan, CeeDee Lamb, Mark Andrews, Keenan Allen. I went Arthur Juan, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, Joe Mixon. You have Daddy Jandro here going Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, Justin Herbert, George Kittle. You have Blastman 420 here going Nick Chubb, Garrett Wilson, Devonta Smith, Najee Harris. You got Dustin, one of our Get Right own here in the 7th spot, going Stephon Diggs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, goes early QB with Justin Fields, and then grabs TJ Hawkinson. So we're kind of starting to see this little, I think everybody remembered it's tight end premium, so you're starting to see those guys roll.
Watch the show. I think he posted it right after.
Yeah, I did put the link in there. Not too many people are watching, but yeah. So we got Dylan in the chat. I brought it up here. I didn't want to forget. I wasn't even looking at the screen anymore. He said, "Oh, is this the league that I got booted from?"
Yeah.
It sure the hell is. No,
Yeah.
it sure the hell is, Dylan. It
Sorry
sure the
about
hell is, bro. We're sorry about it. Like I told you, man, we had again people that originally didn't want to be in there. We thought, but they just didn't want to change that league. So they all once they saw, you know how things happen.
That
One person goes, another person goes.
Man.
Yeah, so it's done. And I felt bad trying to change it, but I wanted a little something new. So I'm glad we get to play with these guys.
We're fine with
yeah, in there.
that.
So
we're just not,
that's
we're
what we went. We got there. Family fights sometimes, but you got to work through it.
Exactly.
If it's worth fighting about, it's worth caring about. So there you go. Rafi says, I would have rather had Wilson than Adams. Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but
that's what I thought you were going to take Garrett Wilson over Adams.
I mean,
I said that.
That Jets schedule is rough, boy. It is rough. And I don't mean boy like, nothing like that. I'm just saying it's tough.
Yeah.
It's super tough.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got New York Jets out the gate. They get Buffalo Bills defense. Then they get Cowboys defense. Then they get New England Patriots defense. Then they play against the Chiefs. I mean, that's just brutal right out of the gate, right? And then they get Kansas City Chiefs. All right, their defense is maybe whatever, especially if Chris Jones isn't there. But you still got to put up 40 points to feel like you're comfortable to beat them. So that's no easy task. Yeah. Then they get the Broncos, which is always hard away on the road against Broncos in Arrowhead or Mile High.
Mile High, yeah.
And then they get the Eagles defense and then a bye week. I think you need a bye week after that. So then they come back and get the Giants, which is decent. Chargers, they had a lot of injuries last year in their defense. Basically a bye week against the Raiders.
Wins right there.
Yeah, so that you get some wins finally there. And then they get the Bills again. Then they get the Dolphins defense. And then they get another little couple bye weeks here against the Falcons and Texans, which the Texans defense could be improved there under DeMarco Murray. Then they get the Dolphins for the week, and literally then that's it. Then you get playoffs if you made it. As far as fantasy goes, Dolphins, Commanders, Browns, which isn't too bad, but still nothing easy either. So
what is that doing? He's got
that
4
Jets
running backs now.
Oh man, he knows it's 3 wide receiver and 1 flex in a PPR, right?
I'm just gonna leave it alone.
No.
Leave that alone.
Hey. Is what it is. What we'll learn.
Running backs. That's for sure. You're good. And maybe you had to take the extra one because you got JT. So thank you for taking JT and not having us to deal with that garbage.
Yeah. See, I was worried about this. See, I'm glad. If I would have took Cooper there instead of Mixon, I would have been looking at just like I said, like DeAndre Swift as my running back, especially with the D-man taking so many there.
4.
But yeah, so Rafi, that's why I didn't go Garrett Wilson, man. I don't want to say I'm avoiding Garrett Wilson, but that's just a rough go at it. Yeah.
I'm the other way though. I don't look at the schedules as much as the connections that he has, and he looks like he has a really good connection with Aaron Rodgers there.
We saw one throw. We saw one throw.
I've seen a lot of practice throws and things like that.
Oh yeah, I guess they're on Hard Knocks. I haven't watched the Hard Knocks yet.
I don't even remember, but they were.
Yeah, I just remembered. It just hit me.
And it just looks good.
Dustin, you got me, bro.
JK, yeah.
That's who I wanted right there. Was JK.
Just kidding.
All right, I might have to go wide receiver now.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, that was brutal. Dustin, I hate you forever for that.
Let's see what Blastman does.
I hope. I think he goes wide receiver here.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
I think you have to, but I don't know. I need to see who I'm trying to get over here. Let's see what's going on. I might have to pivot all together, grab one of these tight ends. They're flying off the board like crazy. We got Pitts, Ingram, Njoku, Schultz, Komet, or the top 5 tight ends. For those that are watching, we got DJ Moore, McLaurin, Drake London, Christian Watson, Chris Godwin, Tyler Lockett, and Michael Pittman. Christian Kirk kind of area for wide receiver. You're looking at Miles Sanders, Alexander Madison, DeAndre Swift, Alvin Kamara, James Conner, Cam Akers, Dalvin Cook, Pacheco, White, Javonte Williams kind of range. Yeah, and then quarterbacks, you're looking at Trevor Lawrence, Dak, Deshaun, Tua, Rodgers, Cousins. Still a lot of Anthony Richardson. Still a lot going on there. All right, you bleeding this one out. Is getting. See, he went wide receiver here. So yeah, man, this is tough because I know you're probably going to go running back based on your build right now, or maybe even another wide receiver. Do I risk it? Do I not risk it? Risk it? Not risk it? Am I okay with one of these guys? Ooh, I know who I want. Oh, I'll tell you, I don't want to give it away.
Well, you're so it doesn't matter.
No, I'm just saying I don't know if Daddy Jandro's just waiting. I think I'm pretty sure I know Pizzo's watching, and he was probably trying to see if I was going to tip my hand. Thank you so much for not taking him. Whoo, Miles Sanders, let's go. Nice RB2 for me there in a full PPR league. No other competing back. So that's why I wanted. That was a quick instant take for me there. So now you're on the clock here.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'll break my boy here, Nick Bosa, for those of you guys who've been living under a rock, finally agreed to a 5-year, $170 million making quarterback money extension here with the San Francisco 49ers, $122 million guaranteed. Huge, highest paid defensive player in history, exceeds Aaron Donald's like 31 point something million a year at like 34.5 million is what Bosa will be making. Huge addition. We needed it, obviously, going for the Super Bowl contention. I was worried when it didn't come out yesterday because I thought he'd be at practice today. So I thought he was going to sign yesterday. Low key, when that happened, or when that didn't happen, I should say, I low key started freaking out and thought we might miss him for a week, or just miss them all like together, maybe missing a couple weeks, which could really, set us off on the wrong foot. So I was so happy that he got signed and is going to be back in San Francisco for the long term. So welcome, Nick Bosa. Hell of a football player, defensive player of the year. Let's go. Super Bowl time now. Go get it. What are your thoughts on that?
I think you guys suck. Forget him.
Great take right there.
He's
like, I didn't want to hear any. He's like, I didn't want to hear any of that. You're just completely tuning me out right there.
That's just straight up noise.
Seriously, that's hilarious.
That was all I heard.
Yeah. Oh man, that's hilarious, Frank. That's good. Interesting pick for you right here. I think you have to go running back here. I would think. Just depends on if there's any running backs you like on the board. Maybe you go Dak, Trevor, Watson. You do have CD for the stack. Like that DJ Moore pick there as your wide receiver 3. 48 seconds on the clock. What are you thinking? So again, for those of you guys maybe just tuning in,
receiver, quite honestly, and that's the problem.
Okay.
Like I don't know. Like at
He's
this
going,
point, I already got the starters.
Lean into that hero. You out hero RB'd me.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about going one more, or I might even take Trevor Lawrence. He's the last QB that's in the top tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do that. Talk myself into it. Yeah.
There you go. Trevor Lawrence off the board. You did just snipe me with that one because I was trying to get the stack with Ridley. So I was actually surprised you went there. Like I said, I thought you were going to wait like 2 more rounds and get Dak to have him paired up with CeeDee Lamb for that stack. So a little interesting there.
I'm not worried about stacks.
It was like it was set up perfectly for you to take Dak and me to take Lawrence, but that's okay. We'll pivot here. Since you didn't go wide receiver there, I'm probably going to go wide receiver then. Just depends on who I like here out of London, Watson, and Godwin. You got Watson dealing with the hamstring injury now, just like Cooper Kupp. So that kind of hurts. Don't really like London as much. Chris Godwin still not sold on Baker, but y'all know I love me some Tyler Lockett here. It's a little early for Lockett.
With the tight end, you're not trying to take some Kyle Pitts?
Nah, I'm not trying to take any Kyle Pitts, and I already have Ridley, so I don't want to go Ingram, and it's a little early for Njoku, who I might be targeting on the way back, since a lot of people have them already. I'm going to try to stay ahead, I think, and go. I think I'm going to go Lockett. because I already have Ridley, so I can't go Kirk. Yeah, I think I like Lockett because I think there's a wide receiver. I mean, I would go Watson. I do kind of want to get some pieces with Watson, but Lockett's just tried and true. I will lock him in as my wide receiver 4, since you sniped me with Lawrence, asshole.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. Nah.
I just looked at it and I'm like,
maybe I'll trade you.
There's a tiers, right? There's tiers.
Oh, he was. Yeah, that's why I thought I was going to get it.
He's literally the last guy in that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I want to wait?
I shouldn't have been talking to you through that. I should have just been quiet.
But I'm already going hero RB anyways. So, with my build. So I'm not worried about, I'll start stacking running backs in the next couple of rounds. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the problem.
Yeah.
I'll just
well done.
Everybody who's left. You know what I mean? Like, I might. 7th round is literally 7th to 9th round is probably going to be running back. You know what I mean? Like, that's it.
Right. Yeah, and I kind of
throw another wide receiver in there depending on who it is, because obviously some guys are just better than others. So.
Right. I mean, most everybody has their quarterbacks already, but I kind of set myself up to have a couple options here. Mainly probably going to be targeting Geno. His ADP is about 132, so
yeah, he's way down there.
9th, 10th round.
I don't think he's going to be that bad. I don't think he's going to perform what he did last year. But I mean, at that value, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
or maybe there's another thing I might do here on the turn as well. And I don't want to, it's not a mock.
Considering what's his name?
I forgot this is a real draft.
Yeah, I know. But you can still talk about it.
I'm going to play the 5th on whatever you say right now.
No. What, Deshaun Watson is all I'm saying. What are you thinking?
I mean, yeah.
He is a bit ahead he's ahead or like one spot ahead. I think
he's like in that mid tier. Like he should belong in the top tier.
Sleeper has him as. Oh yeah, he's right after Dak and then Tua, Anthony Richardson.
That's my other upside play. Yeah, I mean, I have so many options I can go, and I built so much flexibility with my guys up top already. Like I've basically filled my starting receivers and running backs right now. So all I'm looking for is that tight end, which I'm going to go for the spray and pray approach with tight end premium. And depending on what quarterback falls at what time, is when, what might decide it for me. So the thing I got to worry about here is Deshaun Watson going to Twisted Crew, since he does have Cooper, but he also has Waddle and Jefferson, so he can also wait on quarterback as well, because he can go Cousins, Deshaun, or Tua still, who I think all still have pretty good upside and or a very decent floor. So we'll get to the chat here. Got some questions, and again, you guys have any questions if you're watching, popping in, make sure you drop them in. So we got Kyle in here saying, "What up, fellas? Should I trade Connor for Pierce or Montgomery straight up?" Ooh, I would probably, the higher value is Pierce. Technically, I believe you're trading up if you go Pierce. I like Montgomery more so at his draft value, but now you're talking trade. I would prefer to probably trade up to Pierce. Just in my opinion. I mean, it's not, you're not upgrading total great offenses from Cardinals to there, but yeah. So who are you taking? Would you trade, basically, who do you got straight up? Connor, Pierce, or Montgomery? Why don't you rank them?
Let me check my rankings. I got to look at that up.
Nice. So I think I have it ranked. Pierce, Montgomery, Connor is how I have it ranked. So, and that's the order I'd want them.
Yeah, that's the order I would want to. Pierce, Montgomery, Connor.
There you go, Kyle.
Not a bad deal though, because I mean, if you're a full PPR, that dude's the only one getting the ball over there. They got no QB, nobody receivers to speak of that I can think of, and he's the only guy getting the ball. Sometimes it's not. I was looking at picking him up. He's one of the. If he comes back around, shoot, I'll grab him.
Yeah, when you win higher RB, like Connor's like the perfect type of guy you're looking for. Like you can't.
Exactly.
Beggars can't be choosers at that point.
He went after Kamara, but
he just went. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did go in that round.
Swift, Akers is gone. Yeah, I need to pick up some running backs on the way back.
And as you can see here, Pierce went
heavy after that. Yeah. This happens.
Pierce went 208 here in our draft, but I think that's a little early. Definitely a lot early. Like normally he's about like 4th round. is where you see Pierce going, kind of like right after Stevenson, that Aaron Jones kind of range. So
what do you think about that
I
news
traded
that
up.
came out that Zeke is going to be getting goal line touches over?
That's what everybody. It was a bunch of no news to me. It's nothing
Well,
that
I mean, they
I
were
didn't already
talking
know.
about it even more now, though. You know what I mean? Like it's like a whole thing now.
And it's because they
Doesn't look
needed
that
something
bad
to
over
talk
there.
about.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not worried
I
about
just
it.
don't like New England. I've always not. I mean, I just stay away from New England.
Tony
running back.
Pollard still finished RB5 last year with Zeke vulturing
Zeke.
all the touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly.
Not worried about it.
Yeah.
Not worried about it. So Chris says, who do I start at flex week 1? He has Javonte Williams or Elijah Moore. He says, I'll add playing against Deshaun Watson. So I don't really care so much like who you're playing against. Like, yeah, it is nice to kind of start a wide receiver against a quarterback because it kind of cancels out. But at the same time, if you score a touchdown, he's getting 6 points too. So it kind of cancels you out as well.
Exactly.
So you're just kind of washing the yardage. So to me, it's kind of negligible. You more so just want to be starting the better player. To me, if you've been watching, this offseason, I've been fading Javonte Williams, all year. Obviously, he was able to play in the second preseason game. I believe he played a little more in the third preseason game as well. So they're going to run him out there. If you're talking just 1 week, I mean, since you did just, you did go ahead and draft him anyway, hopefully you got good value on him. And he's like, again, obviously, if it's in his flex, he has him probably as his RB3. So, I mean, why not take the shot, I guess? But I do like what they're doing with Elijah Moore. I mean, that's a tough one. But I think, again, if you drafted in Javonte, that means you believe in him. Try to put myself in your shoes. I would probably start him week 1 and just kind of see. I mean, unless you start hearing stuff as we get closer to Sunday about pitch count or, limited touches, which I think I've heard some rumblings on, maybe you want to hold off. But again, you're talking probably maybe 10 to 12 running back touches versus like 4 to 5 catches for Elijah Moore. So again, depending if it's PPR, half PPR, standard.
This PPR right under it.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay. There you go. So yeah, makes it a little closer. I think if any of those guys start and you get 10 PPR points, you're happy. Who gets you a better chance to do that? I think Elijah Moore. I don't think they put him in like on a goal line type situation, and just that Broncos offense just is kind of look kind of trash altogether. So I don't know if it's a hot take, but I'll take Elijah Moore. Sorry, I had to talk myself through that one. Go ahead. Who you got, Frank, on that one?
I would just take Javonte.
You're going Javonte
for it. You got to start your starters, man. I don't get too complicated over that, and I definitely don't look at who the other guy's playing.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with who I'm starting at all. Why do I keep hearing clicking? Is it my pick?
No, it might have been my mouse because I got excited for the guy. Just realized I'm about to take right now.
In my ear. Hopefully, it goes away after this thing. No, it's still clicking away.
Interesting.
Clicker going. Something started here. That's why
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
on your side.
I had to adjust my cue just in case I was like not. You know what I mean? I was like, am I lagging? Like, what's going on here?
There you go. And Rafi agrees. He says more. Watson loves him. So and they had some nice design kind of gadgety stuff for him. I think if they get around the end zone, they might try to get him in the end zone. You know how it is with teams when they get a new toy or they trade from somebody, they just want to stick it to the other team and say, "See, we know how to use them."
Oh, you want he wants more. You wanted more. I want Williams. So
yeah. Chris also asked Goff or Dak week 1.
Dak.
And he has Amon-Ra. Yeah, give me Goff and Amon-Ra against the Chiefs. They're going to need to put up points.
As a stack. Oh, I'd still take Dak. Dak hasn't lost against the Giants. And I guess
it's a good matchup either way. Yeah, but they don't have Kellen Moore anymore. I need to really see what Dallas's offense is going to be. If they come out and start flinging it around, then we've been drafting Dak way too low.
Oh, they're going to be flinging it around.
If they just try to play ball control and short passing game type stuff, I don't know.
Do that at all.
All right, so we had this round: Thomas Pitts, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Javonte Williams, the aforementioned. Gabe Davis goes off the board. Christian Kirk, Pickens, George Pickens, Chris Godwin, Hollywood Brown right before me. I'm on the clock. I'm thinking I want to go wide receiver here. I'm pretty sure. The only thing I'm worried about is if Jerry's watching, he knows I want to go Deshaun Watson. So I'm not going to mess around here. I want to go Deshaun Watson.
Take your starters. Oh, thank you.
Speaking of the guy.
Well,
there's three nice running backs right there that you're looking at. Rashad White, James Cook, David Montgomery. This is why I usually don't mind going this hero RB build like you did. So you're sitting with Bajan as your 101, and you're here in the 7th round, able to pick from James Cook, Rashad White, or David Montgomery
still, and I'm fine. Like my starter, I got solid.
Yeah, and you might be able to grab another one of those three coming back.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I told you. I'm going to be snatching these guys up like candy right here, coming back and forth. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's tough. I'm taking probably whoever out of White and Montgomery you don't take. I don't think Jerry can go another running back right here when he's spent so much on Barkley and Henry with their first 2 picks. I think he's kind of fading running back here for a minute.
And he took Cook too. I mean, why would you get another running back? I mean, unless you want to be like Doug.
To me, and again, not to talk shit.
Ended up with Jerry Jeudy, who's hurt. It's RB1 is Jerry Jeudy, who's injured right now. Or
right.
Like,
he does go running back. Wow, that's a tough build. And then
Rodgers.
Oh, and then Rodgers. Ooh, that was a tough turn.
You mentioned Rashad White, man.
It's just because he's at a tough spot. Like that's a tough turn. I think he lost a lot of ground there, but we'll see how it turns out. Like he's super reach for Rodgers right there. But I'm happy I went Deshaun. I don't know how he feels about Deshaun, but the fact that he took a quarterback makes me feel a lot more comfortable that I took Watson right there. Because if not, I was probably grabbing Tua on the way back around. So who are you taking? David Montgomery here?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, I'm probably taking him. Not gonna even lie.
I gotta start stacking them as I mentioned. That's how a hero RB build works. You gotta take one RB in the first 2 picks, and the rest you gotta wait and get all the guys you can later on, and hope one of those sticks to the wall. So that I am taking David Montgomery. Just moving on. Yeah, it's my build. You know what I mean? You got to stick to the rules of the build.
Yeah,
right?
And that's why I'm glad I kind of detoured and took that running back early, because then if I would have went with my classic hero RB build, we'd be fighting over guys right now.
Oh yeah.
So
oh yeah. Well, I mean,
it'd be a little rough on this corner right here.
Got cornered into it after I took Andrews, and I was like, oh, well, that's another wide receiver kind of in my eyes, you know.
Right.
Wide receiver. Then I took I just wanted to opt in for the last layer of QBs right there.
This is a tough spot for me right here.
You're in a hard.
There's like 3 guys I want really bad right here. I want Addison.
They're not gonna come back. They're not gonna.
Well, I know. So I'm leaning Dotson. You know I love Dotson.
Yeah. Jahan Dotson.
Second-year receiver, poised for a breakout, potentially injured. Scary McLaurin. David Njoku, tight end premium. I get the stack with Watson. It's a good time for me for my build. That works. And then Addison, up and coming, good rookie prospect. He is going to be my wide receiver 4, so I have time to see how he develops. Obviously, a lot of targets vacated in that offense that he should walk right into. But I think in tight end premium, I think I have to pull the trigger here on Njoku.
Yeah, I was going to say, when are you going to take?
There's still a couple teams without a tight end. Like if everybody already had their tight end, and for some reason Njoku was still sitting there, I wasn't worried about him because I'd have a pick before him. But the fact that there's 2 people, there's 2 people, 2 people without a tight end. So I think I had to do that. And that was the exact, remember when I was talking about earlier, I was like, there's a turn that I want to do. That was the exact turn that I was thinking of with Watson and with Watson and Njoku.
So you're like right where you want.
Literally, I want to be exactly that. Yeah,
I like it.
I wish I could have Dotson, and I wish I could have maybe had Montgomery fall. I'm glad you took him because that would have been even another person I would have had to decide on.
Yeah.
But I think I did okay there. It just sucks that I'm not going to have Addison or Dotson on this team. So let's get to this question. We already done with Chris here. What do we say? He says, I got Miles Sanders in the late 7th round this year. Still can't wrap my head around that. Yeah, not bad at all. I took him here in the 5th. So yeah, I know he was going way later because he was hurt for a while. So he was definitely dropping. Or just maybe the guys you're with aren't feeling him. He said, what should have been your pick? Should have been your pick. He will be a volume monster. White. White should have been your. White should have been your pick.
Okay.
So I think he was saying White over Cook. So I probably would have went. Oh, it's tough because I kind of like all. Like I said, all three of those guys were basically they're the same tier for me. He is going to get volume, but not a great line. I
like Cook better. He's on
Cook is on a good
offense.
offense. Some competition. Yeah, just I think you did it right.
Score more points than Tampa Bay. Let me tell you that. So that means that you got to have more opportunities. What do we used to say?
No, what did you used to say? Yeah, opportunities equals touches equals touchdowns, and touchdowns equals points, or something like that. So yeah, there you go. So we got Jay Media in the house. What's up, my fellow Niner brethren? Joey Bosa sign. Let's go, baby. Back to the Bay. He says, "What's up, fellas? Rate my first 2 picks in a 12-team PPR." He goes Saquon and AJ Brown. So not going to argue with you. I took Arthur Juan with my first pick. I passed on Saquon, so the fact that you had them both come back, I can assure you, if I went AJ Brown here and came back around and Barkley was there, absolutely he would be on my team over Devontae Adams. So, but you had Neanderthal ball there going Barkley Henry on the turn. So there you go. And he was 11th pick. So yeah, that was about right. Very similar. So, and it probably should have happened, but we went a little running back heavy on this PPR league, and then the quarterbacks flew off. This is a crazy draft.
Yeah, now more quarterbacks are flying off. We kind of started like you.
Yeah, we hit that next tier. Yeah,
Watson, then Aaron Rodgers, now Tua, now Dak here a little bit later on. That's about the time that people are going to start thinking, well, I don't want to get stuck with Daniel Jones or somebody. I don't know who's down there.
Exactly.
Jordan
and then
Love.
Freaking Dustin goes Addison. I don't even know if he likes Addison. I think he just did it because he doesn't want me to have him. So there you go. We got a Domir in here.
Come back to you.
Shut up, Frank. So we got a question in the house. I just looked up and seen like half a round go by and didn't see him on. I was like, oh shit. Let me try to keep myself. Yeah, let me keep myself occupied here. So we have Domir.
Right?
Yeah. Don't even bring it up. So we got Domir here going full PPR, 12-man, 2 flex, 3 wide receiver. He has Burrow, smash, Barkley, Pollard, smash, Ridley, Evans, London. Not so great on the Evans, London. But I mean, I understand it. Then he goes Ingram, and then he has Akers, Dotson, who we're talking about to round it out in his flexes. His bench is Odell, Mitchell, Lazard, Everett, Love, and Breida. Should I make a move or no? I don't think Breida. Yeah, I'd get rid of Breida. I'm not a great Odell guy, so if I can somehow,
those 2 guys too, right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you can maybe Odell, Breida, and like Lazard, and try to just get like
one guy,
yeah, who like somebody like who are people not? I mean, maybe like I would literally probably trade all 3 of those guys for Quentin Johnston.
Yeah.
Like that's something that you might be able to get done. Yeah. Or even like Rashad Bateman. He did practice today.
The guy that has Christian Watson that hurt.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But I try to, those are the guys that I think are just easy cuts for me. I do like Mitchell. I don't mind Everett. I'm not real big on having 2 tight ends, especially when you have Ingram.
Oh, there goes Jahan.
Damn it. See?
Or you keep him on your team, have him for waiver wire fodder to drop him when you need to pick up a guy.
Yeah, it all depends on who's out there. Like if Jalen Warren's out there, number 2 running back in Pittsburgh, I would take him over Breida. I assume he's gone. If you had to draft Breida, might have been a real running back heavy, even though it's 2 flex, 3 wide receiver. Yeah, I would try to just fix that. I think your starters are fine. I would try to fix that Odell, Breida, Lazard. I'm just not the biggest fans of those 3 guys. I don't think anybody is for Breida, but Odell and Lazard, I'm not in their camp. So you with me on that, basically?
Yes. Yeah. No,
all right.
Right there.
So there you go.
Literally. I mean, we were both looking at the same two guys. Right
Same exact.
like,
Yeah,
hey,
like
that guy and that
instantly.
guy.
Yeah. All right. Cool. We're there.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, QJ goes off the board here at the 903.
There you go.
Oh, my Q is just gone.
Depleted.
Gone.
I need to
Now everybody wants to start drafting wide receivers. When I'm trying to build my depth, now everyone's trying to get their last starters.
Yeah.
Damn. Ooh, Khalil Herbert. That was another one I was looking at too.
That guy's gonna.
Ooh, Rashee Rice. A little early for Rice.
Yeah,
Single digit rounds. Ooh. Let's go, D-man. Do your damn thing. So we got there's a guy here. I haven't got any pieces of him yet, but I might take a stab at him. Let's put him in the queue since my queue's completely gone now. Oh, there's my boy right here. Since I didn't get Joe Hahn, I could take one of these guys. All right.
There you go.
So we got Johnny D in here. I just want to fill my queue real quick since it literally just got depleted
on all those. I was like, bloop, 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 bloop.
On all those things.
A little bit more of that. I was
the
like,
next
hold on,
tier.
let me throw some more guys in here. Hold on.
All right, so we got Johnny Dean here saying, I got my draft tomorrow, and I'm picking dead last in a 10-team PPR. Would the hypothetical play be stick to wide receivers until round 3 into 4? It really, I mean, read your draft in a 10-team. You don't necessarily have to stick to it. If it's, did you say 3 wide receiver? If it's 3 wide receiver, then maybe you want to go at least 1 wide receiver with those first 2 picks before you head into that 3-4 turn. But typically in a 10-team league, I still like a lot of the running back value that you can get late. So I probably would agree to kind of lean into wide receiver if you want to take 3 wide receivers with those first 4 picks and kind of go like what I like to call my villain RB build, where you kind of get those 3 wide receivers and kind of take your quote unquote hero RB, but like in round 4. You know, there's still guys that we were kind of talking about. If you're okay with basically running 2 RB2s, but being kind of stacked in a PPR at your wide receiver, then I would suggest, again, 3 out of your first 4 wide receivers. If you want to be a little more balanced, then you can go 2 and 2, 1 and 1, and kind of just get those top 2 for your starters. So what do you think on that one?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the other teams. Hold on. So
oh, my bad.
Check it out.
I kind of went off on a soliloquy on it anyway. So yeah, he's at the 10 spot, and he's asking, does he go like basically wide receiver at the turn, or do you think he should maybe take a running back if he falls there at the 10?
I think it all depends on who falls to you. That has a lot to do with who's on the board and who you have your options to do with. I think it's better to be flexible, have an idea how you're going to want to draft and structure your draft. You know, like I was doing a hero RB, and it's kind of, and then Anthony seen that I was doing that, so he switched off. That way we're not fighting on our picks and things like that. So you have to be flexible. With that being said, I would probably be taking some wide receivers, depending on if there's starters and things like that. You also don't want to pass up on the good starting running back if they're out there. You know what I mean? Like, it all depends on who's there. But I mean, be flexible, take best available, but keep to your, if you have a plan for the draft, stick to the plan.
Absolutely.
You're up now.
Yeah, he took my boy Bijan right over there.
Ryan Robinson.
Yeah.
I know you like that guy.
Or not Bijan. I always say the other B Rob.
I know.
B Rob.
Robinson.
Yeah. we were just saying it. Yeah, so that's why I was stuck in my head. I could go Schultz right here too. It is tight end premium. Nice to have that little backup guy. Maybe start another tight end run. Kind of like Zay Flowers right here as well. Kind of leaning more running back more than anything right here. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go Antonio Gibson. I just want to – I'd much rather have – well, I mean, it is full PPR, so give me some Antonio Gibson. I got B-Rob in a couple other leagues, so we'll go with Gibson. One of them will hit. They could both be decent.
I mean, they're ranked that way, too.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because no one knows really who to take out of the two. Like, one's the higher PPR guy. The other guy's going to get the volume, first and down and goal line work. Just depends on how many receiving touchdowns Gibson could score. And if he could stay around 4 or 5 catches a game, then he'll be easily, PPR startable.
Yeah.
And flexible.
What I need to be doing,
flexible.
Take the running backs that I need to take.
Oh, don't do it to me. Oh, there you go. P. Ryan. That's a nice pick.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you read this, but Johnny said he won it all last year with Jalen Hurts. So did Frank the Champ right here. He's holding the belt because of it. Not only if
And
I'm
he's
able
a
to
keeper for me, so I got him again this year.
got him again this year. Not only are not sure if he'll be able to get him again, drafting from the 10, but then again, it is a 10-team family league, so hopefully they'll pass him up. So probably not going, if he's still there at your 310 or whatever the pick, the 310, I think you'd have to take him. That's who I was going to take from you right there instead of Gibson. I was going to take Kincaid.
Oh yeah, I can't go any further than that. That was way too long for me.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to give it to you.
To the plan.
So
even I was like, hold on.
Well, see now, if you could do it over again, knowing you were going to get Kincaid later, would you have taken Cook over White now? Remember how Rafi was saying go with the volume? If you would have planned that out a little better, if you had hindsight, would you have maybe taken White or Montgomery over Cook so you didn't get that running back tight end stack?
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I probably would have. I probably would have took White over Cook, but I just like what I've been seeing out of Cook. Like how he finished last year, and the offense I preferred over Tampa Bay's offense. That's the only reason I took him over White. I mean, I should have. I mean, it was just a toss up, and honestly, in the rankings, he was higher than Cook anyway. So I mean, but I didn't know if I was going to get Kincaid anyways. I was
right
on the running back now versus what's going to happen later on in the draft. Somebody could have took Kincaid right after that pick or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so I stuck to my guns into what I'm doing and my thing. Now I just need to go wide receivers on down. Like, I don't mind. I don't care what anybody knows. I'm like, that's what my next pick is going to be. A couple wide receivers coming up. Like, I got everybody I need as far as starters, and that's my first bench. I took a first bench for tight end because it is a tight end premium, so that's why I'm kind of took Mark Andrews early, which I never really would have done. I would have probably just waited for Kincaid if it was a regular draft. I would have took another wide receiver there and just waited for Kincaid here or somebody else, maybe Schultz or whoever was falling into this range, and took that tight end. But since it is a premium, that's why I opted to have two tight ends instead of just one. Like, I probably wouldn't even draft the two normally. You know what I mean? Like, just get wide receivers and running backs, stack those as many as you can because injuries. I mean, I'm already like, I have Kelce. We were talking about at the start of the show, right? He's my starting tight end. He's down. Now I got to figure out. I was ranked to win. Now I'm ranked to lose. As simple as that. Like, one guy goes down, boom. Like, I'm like projected to lose now, and you gotta get up those next guys up. And I feel more comfortable with some of the other guys that I'm gonna look at that I have in my wide receivers spots right now that I have queued up. And that's why I did it that way. I was comfortable this year, and I think I've told Anthony earlier is that I was way more comfortable with a hero RB build this year than any other year. Most of the years, I'm a running back heavy type of guy, like Neanderthal Ball did right off the bat. Take two running backs, figure it out from there. Yeah, figure out the rest. Take the two starting running backs. But I've fallen. I've drinking enough the juice and the sauce, I should say, and believe that the hype of wide receivers are better, especially in a PPR format, that they do produce more. They're less injury prone. There's more winners produced having good wide receivers. That's why I took, 3 starting wide receivers versus, going running back, and then getting, 1 or 2 starting wide receivers, or, you know what I mean? Maybe 1, and then have like backup wide receivers, or, not in the backup, but wide receiver 2s and wide receiver 3s on my team.
Right.
I'd rather have wide receiver 2s and 3s as my backup guys, not my starting guys. And that's kind of how I'm looking at this draft is 1 tight end premium, right? So I got Andrews and Kincaid, 2 wide receivers, get those guys out of the way. The only reason I took Bijan is because how am I going to pass up on Bijan? I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like he's going to be a PPR monster this year as well. So, I mean, why would I want to let that go?
And those that are hearing us say tight end premium, for those who don't know what tight end premium is, or if you never played tight end premium league, it just means your tight ends receive an extra half point to full point per receptions, whereas wide receivers and running backs will get 1 point per reception, PPR. Tight end premium, in this specific league, we have a 1.5 point premium. So basically every tight end catch is worth 1.5 in addition to the yardage. whereas a catch for, again, a wide receiver or running back is only worth 1. So someone like Travis Kelce, who's getting 100 catches a year, that's 50 extra points that he's getting, and which is why you see him go here at the 102.
That's why I think I got to steal Mark Andrews.
Yeah, you did.
11.
You did. Everybody forgot tight end premium right away.
Yeah. And I was like, oh,
including me, because I let him. If Ridley wasn't there, I probably would have gone Andrews, but I could not pass up Ridley as my wide receiver 3.
I probably would have taken Ridley after you.
We've seen what's his name up here have Ridley as his wide receiver 1.
Who?
Yeah, see, Domer up here.
Oh, Domer.
So
wow.
Yeah, see, so he went Barkley, Pollard, and then Ridley as his wide receiver 1 with Evans in London, whereas I'm rocking Arthur Juan, Devontae Adams, and Ridley as my wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, that's a little advantage there. Yeah. I hope. So anyway, so where were we at?
Stays healthy, right? Everybody stays healthy.
Exactly. So we had J Media, my boy, saying 49ers defense assemble. Sheesh. Yeah, it took long enough. You got Calvin Brown in here saying 10-team, non-PPR, pick 2 for the flex. Chris Godwin, James Cook, Jahan Dotson, Demont, David Montgomery, or Alexander Madison. So non-PPR, naturally, you're going to probably, stick more towards running backs that have a high chance of scoring. With that said, as much as I love, Jahan Dotson, like we were talking about, and as much as I think Godwin's going to score and get good volume there, I think I'd probably go Monty and Madison, at least week 1, just because I'd rather see how Godwin and Baker look. I'd rather see how James Cook is integrated in this offense. Jahan Dotson, it's not guaranteed he gets a touchdown, and without the point per reception bonus being non-PPR, I just think, you lean towards Demont, Madison, who I think have the highest chance of scoring out of these guys here. And they're on still decent, good offenses with good matchups. So what do you think?
Considering I drafted James Cook right now just a little bit ago, I would go with Madison.
Going up against that Jets defense on Monday night? Are you sure?
I don't mind.
All right. He's not scared.
I'm not scared.
There you go.
I look into that some, but it's not the San Francisco defense because they're run stoppers.
There you go.
And you guys keep
I
talking
appreciate
about
that.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate
that. I'll give you the credit.
I appreciate. Hey, that was a mad respect because I would have went out of my way not to mention the Cowboys defense.
Yeah.
The best I gave you was, they got to face the Cowboys week 2 when we were talking about the Jets.
And that's rough. I'm telling you, we're probably gonna put that boy into retirement.
So we're gonna end it right there, right? Y'all got some beef with Rodgers. I know that for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
We ended what's his name? The GOAT.
There you go.
Brady done.
Ended him.
You're out of here. Get out of here.
Ended him. J Media, we'll get back to this comment here in a little bit. He says any has any? Maybe Ant? Maybe he may Ant. Ant has soured on OBJ. What about Nook Hopkins? Love Nook. Okay, yeah, he did say Ant says soured on OBJ. What about Nook? Yeah, I'll take Nook all day. I have him so many places as like my wide receiver 3. To me, that's just a steal.
OBJ's
yeah. I just 2 torn ACLs, didn't play at all last year. Just 31 years old. I'm just not I don't know. He might be good for a little bit, but not someone I'm worth investing on totally. I mean, he basically kind of is free when you're getting him at the end of drafts. Just there's so many other exciting guys I'd rather have, like Rashee Rice and Justin Ross, that are nowhere near as good in their prime. Of course, I mean, the case is still to be made on these other 2, but chances are they'll never reach a peak like OBJ is, just based on the pure percentage and statistics. It's just a little more exciting. He's just not someone I want on my bench, just like Adam Thielen. Like, I have nothing against Adam Thielen. Just, he's not someone I'm drafting. Like, I'd rather take a shot somewhere else that can completely miss, but I'd rather shoot and miss than just kind of have my gun there loaded and never need to use it. Yeah, so those are, I guess, it is sour grapes.
Loaded,
yeah, I guess. Yeah, exactly. It just we don't need any of that. So who else we got here? I think we're caught up in the chat. So
Geno Smith coming off the board, Russell Wilson
yeah,
coming off the board,
we got
Suchivo here.
some 2 QBs going off the board. A
He's
little,
getting some backup QBs now.
yeah. I'm not taking a backup QB in a 1 QB league. I'm gonna not early. Like they're gonna end up dropping all these
Not
guys
early.
week 4 when they got to fill in guys for bye weeks, and then I'll just pick up their quarterbacks
Yeah,
to start for my 1 week.
people are auto drafting, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, Bobby
Oh,
just-
where'd Bobby go?
Yeah, I
Oh
don't know.
yeah.
He dropped out. Let me
Oh
see.
man.
If I got a
Hit him
text
up.
on this guy.
Yeah, make sure you text him.
Oh.
He might not know how to get off of auto, so
Oh, I forgot my nephew's in here. Oh, he's TMT. So we should talk about his. Jamar
No,
Chase.
no. TMT is Dustin's friend.
Oh, then where's he at? Which one's my nephew?
I know the Dream Team.
Oh, that must be the dream team.
That's Gabe, right?
Yeah, no. It's Alex. His name's Alex.
Oh, okay. Who's Gabe? I thought he was Gabe.
I thought Gabe was TMT. That's what I'm saying.
No, I think the Dream Team. I think you're getting it mixed up. I think the Dream Team is Gabe because he's the one who messaged me about his payment and stuff. So I'm like 99% sure that's
Oh,
him.
that's Gabe. Okay. And then TMT.
Maybe it's Twisted Crew.
He was
No,
buddy, Twisted Crew. I'm not even sure. I'm gonna tell him what I'm gonna ask him
Daddy
right now.
Jandra. Yeah, I know. So I know who GG's is. I know obviously Smitty here at the 102. I don't know who Twisted Crew is. I know TMT. I know D-Man. I know the Dream Team. I know Dustin. I know Pizzo. I don't know who this Daddy
Pizzo?
Jandro. He's Blastman.
Oh, okay.
And then Daddy Jandro, I don't know who that is. I mean, I know he's in our other leagues. I just don't know this screen name because they just got on Sleeper.
Oh, so he just texted me right now. He said Daddy Jandro.
Oh, so that's your nephew Alex?
Which one's that one?
He's
Oh,
right
there
before
he's
me.
right before you. Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's right by us. Yeah.
So he went running back. Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, solid running backs.
Wide receivers scare me in a 3 wide receiver league.
Yeah, he's got Drake London, Marquise Brown, Brandon Cooks, Traylon Burks. Yeah,
Like he went RB3 before he went with his first wide receiver.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be a little tough.
I mean, I don't care about George Kittle. I mean, I don't. I'm telling
Ooh,
you,
do I go
he should
Anthony
not be
Richardson?
going there. I don't know who's taking that guy there.
Alright.
Why anybody's taking that guy there?
Go with my boy here. It's the Bateman show.
Oh, that's what I wanted.
So now we'll go back. Now we'll go back to J Media. I'm hoping that Lamar Bateman stack hits this season. Let's go, boy. I'm right there with you. Let's go, J Media. That's why I didn't want to talk about it earlier because I had to make sure he came back and fell to me. So,
He's awesome.
so there we go. There we go. I was like, yeah, we'll get back to that later. Broadcast says, thanks for the advice. Did draft Kelce this year. Possible replacements are Chiggy, Komet, Laporta, Dolchich, and Noah Gray. Who would you guys add? I'm literally starting Laporta this week against Kansas City. I just want to try it. Like you guys know me, I'm later great tight end. So I pretty much just kind of throw it out there. As far as tight ends go, like if I miss 1 week on a tight end, I hope I'm strong, elsewhere to still pull out the win until I can kind of find somebody or come across someone I could start for a couple weeks. But give me all the hype. There's only ARSB there. He can't catch all like 30 attempts that Goff is going to throw. So it's going to go to some other people. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get some targets, but I doubt he sees 10. Maybe he sees 10. Maybe Amon-Ra sees like 12. And, maybe Dolchich can sneak in there with like 8 targets. I'd be happy with that and kind of see what it's about. So Strickland says, what about Kelce? So just the we're saying, what do y'all think people should do draft wise on him? So for me, I mean, I would draft him as normal. When healthy, he's still going to be fine. Like maybe you miss, a couple games. Like I said, as a Kelce owner, I'd want them to sit him at least maybe a week or 2. Frank's hoping maybe just a week. MRI came back clean, no ACL injury, no ligament damage. It's just a bone bruise. It's painful, it's swollen. If they manage the swelling, he can get out there and play. Like Frank said, if he plays, he's starting him. And if he sits a week, he's okay. We'll just stream someone and fire him up again week 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And he's that guy.
I'd be more comfortable starting him week 2 because
Yeah.
I feel like they're probably going to keep the streak alive, as I mentioned, because he hasn't missed any games, and keep the streak alive. But other than that, they probably move on. You know what I mean? Like get somebody else in there, keep him healthy, give him because there's a Thursday game, so they got a little bit more than a week to get him a little bit healthier for week 2 and move on. Like I don't think he's going to be out or hurting longer than the other week. I mean, it would suck if he did, but I mean, I don't think it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah. So to me, I'd still draft him as normal. Nothing so far, misses a game or two. He's still so much of a positional advantage. If he falls to you in the second round, great. But, if you're sitting at that 109, 110, 111, and he's still there, this is a tight end premium. So that's why you see him go here at the 102. But I mean, I'm especially in PPR, I'm not changing off of him. And it's your pick, so.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at my guys.
Yeah, you're good. I was like, oh, it's quiet, and I looked up and I saw you're on the clock. So, yeah, there's like one or two running backs here I could go with as my fifth RB if I want to take a chance there. I kind of after going wide receiver early, filled out some other stuff.
I don't like the other guys ahead of him, anyways.
Oh, there you go, Mingo. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Man, I don't want to go with
I want, but like I didn't like the other guys there.
Yeah.
See, that's why I like getting thin now, because people who did get a lot of wide receivers seem like.
Yeah, in a 3 wide receiver league, they're there. I'm still surprised I even got Bateman here as my wide receiver 5. That's crazy to me. Yeah. I would normally smash Elijah Moore right here, but I already have Njoku. So I don't know if I want to go with that triple stack with Njoku, Moore, and Deshaun. I mean, I'm just basically making the bet that, it's there. I still may do it, but there is a running back here that I might reach for that's been getting some hype and could potentially hit big. Basically drafting him for free. There's a quarterback I could take here that could finish top 10. Anthony Richardson. That's still a little interesting. I don't have any AR.
Another wide receivers. I need another wide receiver.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Like stick to.
I can't quite do that either.
Yeah.
If I was going to take any other quarterback here, it'd be Goff, but he's gotten undrafted in a couple leagues. I'm almost leaning more towards Moore here. Maybe this running back falls back to me, but people are kind of just going to get their guy now, so I might just go ahead and do the same. I like to build my bench out with these type of guys. Obviously, I'm not going to need the help early on. Give me some Jaylen Warren.
Oh, my God. You reached down for him.
Yeah, I did.
That's what I wanted away later. I was looking at him. I was like, let him slide back. I don't want to.
Yeah. Couldn't do it, Frank. Oh, and then there goes Elijah Moore right after.
He was right down. He was down there. So I was like,
yep, that was my reach. And you guys notice I haven't really reached too much. But when I get down here, it's kind of like you go get your guy. I like taking these. I don't need an Adam Thielen type at this point in the draft. I have my starters set up. The bye week by that time happens. Thielen could be hurt. Like I'm not chasing floor at this point. I'm chasing pure upside. If anything happens, just as a pure handcuff to Najee, he should come in and be the workhorse in that offense. And there's a chance he could actually come in and take a third down role in the Steelers offense for the first time since like before Jerome Bettis. Like they've never had like a third down back really, but we've seen Jaylen Warren definitely picking up steam and kind of, in our other drafts. Yeah, other drafts we've been doing, he's going fairly high. His Yahoo ADP was insane. He was going like in the 8th. Or he was going like in the 9th or 10th in Yahoo drafts. But nice little tucked away secret here. So I feel like that was my nice little pick of the draft so far. We'll see if anything
I was hoping to get him out of probably the last round of running around. I got a couple other guys in mind. There was a lot of the mock drafts that I did. There was a couple guys that fell into the last pick spot that I was like, oh yeah, let's do that. Like that's fine. Like I'll take him as my last pick. I'm not gonna. I'm going to lose sleep over this guy. And if I don't get him, that's fine. You know what I mean? That's
for sure.
With these guys. Are we okay? Caught up on the chats here?
I'm getting to him right now, but I want to say if you guys are watching while we're live here, drop your Q&A in the chat. We're here to take your questions. Just keep in mind, Classic Mike and I will be back here Friday night doing game-by-game preview and breakdown, doing our start-sit episode. Wednesdays is normally our roster construction, roster management. Ad drops, trade, buy, sell, trade is what we'll be talking, starting next Wednesday. But tonight we're streaming our actual home league money draft, real life money draft here.
This is our third home league.
Yeah, for our third home league here that Frank, myself, and Dustin are all in here with a couple guys from our
and we're about to get
league,
one of these.
Yes, we are. Well said.
For this league, we're gonna get one of these from one of our sponsors. Trophy Smack. We're definitely going to be ordering from them. And we're going to get a custom design ring for whoever wins this league every year, because some of these guys are not, close enough that we could get a belt and ship it easily enough. So, you get a ring. Hey,
And you get to
look at
keep it
that.
forever. And I have a ring
Forever.
case and
Yeah.
have all my championship rings.
I
in
want to
there.
be like Brady.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's going to be my profile picture with all my ring pictures on.
10 rings, 7
You
rings.
guys are
this
gonna,
guy.
yeah, you guys are gonna see it on the thumbnail for sure when that happens in a couple years. So yeah,
Definitely
so
consider, getting some.
yeah, your belts,
bags,
your trophies.
get your trophies out there. Help us out. Use our promo code Get Right with Trophy Smack. It really helps us, support the channel one way or another. You know what I mean? If you guys decide to get some bling bling, they got some of these going on over there
Kirk
as well.
Cousins
So,
chains.
yeah, get the swag. Get
Do it
whatever you
upright.
need out of there from the guys. There's also plenty of stuff for the losers of the league. So,
The toilet bowl,
I'm considering
toilet seat.
telling the guys we got to get a license plate. I've seen this recently where a guy was driving around, and around his license plate it said, "I suck at fantasy football." Came in last place in my league. I suck at fantasy football, and I'm a proponent of sending that out to everybody. You got to be driving around with that for a year. Like that's just shameful.
You have to be at any time someone should be like, go take a picture. You have like an hour to show the picture that it's on your car, or else you're gonna have to like pay an extra buy-in or something.
Some Sam Laporta came out.
We'll figure it out. So make sure you guys again appreciate that. Use that promo code Get Right on TrophySmack.com. Link is in the description. Make sure you guys do check out the description. Also check out our rankings. GetRightFF.com. You can see mine, Frank's, Mike's week 1 rankings. The draft rankings are there as well too. But most of you guys, this is probably pretty much the last night we're drafting. So yeah, from here on out, we'll be doing our weekly rankings. So that's where you'll be able to check it out. Of course, you'll be able to get with us here on Fridays where we do our start sit to ask us those questions. But at any time, you can go check our rankings and see who we start or sit based on our weekly rankings. So we usually have those up by Wednesday once the first injury report comes out.
Now, so everybody's rankings are
yeah, they're up now. And then
a couple more things, but yeah, they're pretty much done right now.
Yeah, I got to adjust for Travis Kelce and do a couple of those things too. But, I was getting ready for this draft and all that. So, it is what it is. So yeah, GetRightFF.com. Again, Trophy Smack, promo code Get Right,
Yeah,
of course.
keep in mind, weekly rankings vary a lot more than yearly rankings. You know what I mean? Because this 1 week for Travis Kelce, we might just drop him down to, 10, 20 spots because we're not comfortable in starting or if he's going to do any, good scoring. But overall, we're still tight end number 1, and he should finish as tight end number 1 this year. And one game is not going to kill him. He could have a bad game anyway. So I mean, that's why I look at it. Just having a bad game week 1, you already know he's going to have a bad game.
Right. Also make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button. We got people watching here. Just take a second for us if you're already subscribed to hit that like button. It helps us just as much. And if you are watching and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. We're less than 50 away. So please help us reach our goal. It'll be so cool to hit that 1,000 mark, man, on our 3rd year.
We've been hustling for it. Help us out.
Help us out, man. It really help out. So hit that like and subscribe. And of course, we'll be getting to your chats here, Q&A at any time we're here. So Strickland, just going back to that, was saying his backup tight end is David Njoku. So if you have Njoku, absolutely just start him over Kelce. If you're getting any
Chivo just sniped me.
Ooh, we got you with Roshan. That's a great pick as well, too.
Yes,
I like that pick.
Very good pick.
And he was definitely someone I was kind of targeting, too.
As the last pick, people were just sleeping on the dude. And I was like,
I'm a Herbert fan, so I kind of don't like putting eggs in those baskets because then I feel like I'm going against my Herbert pick.
Okay.
But yeah, so Strickland saying he has a solid team. Sounds like it. Sounds like you drafted a good one. You can always drop the whole thing to us or in a DM or something. We always like checking people's lineups out. So LeBron's in here, our boy here, saying, who should I start now because Cup is injured? I'm right there with you, man. Stayed away from Cup all season long. Fell to me like in the second round, took him, and then hurt literally the very next day. After sitting out for a month, came back healthy, practiced for a week, and I was like, all right, I'll take him, getting some good value, and of course he gets hurt. So obviously no cup. It is full PPR. He's looking for a flex. So start one. Full PPR. James Conner. I assume Rashad White, Van Jefferson, Sky Moore, or Pacheco. Who you taking out of those guys in full PPR?
PPR. James Conner. White.
Why don't you rank them? Rank them for me.
I'll get White, Connor, Jefferson, Moore, and Pacheco.
I would go White, Moore, Connor, Pacheco, Jefferson. So hopefully that helps you out there, LeBron. Sounds like we're pretty much both on White on that one.
Yeah.
Connor is more like the floor safe pick if you kind of want to go that route. I just think Wright gives you a decent floor with some high upside if he can catch 6-7 passes and score a touchdown in that game. So.
Touchdown for you. Connor may probably not going to score a touchdown for you, but he's going to get a lot of touches.
Yeah.
Nobody else over there. So they're going to ride that.
Judy's coming back. I still like this guy here. I got my boy Justin Ross still here.
That just solidified your question.
Kind of missed out on another tight end over here.
He's on the clock, thinking about who's looking at. Oh, Okonkwo just left. Yeah.
Man. I think I'm gonna go. Tough choice here. How do I want to end my draft? I think I'm gonna go.
I know who I got.
I'm worried. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go Juwan Johnson.
Oh, look.
What?
He was going last. He was going last pick, coming around. I was just taking. I was already planning to get the third.
I sniped you. That makes me feel a little better than for you getting me for T-Law then.
But I wasn't going to take him this round. I was just going to let him come back to
me. Well,
me.
He wasn't coming back to me is my point.
Yeah. You have you got to keep that in mind because he wasn't going to slide past
and I looked at that. I didn't think you would take a third one, but I saw Jerry only had Schultz, so I figured he might try to get a second one. Yeah. So I went ahead and grabbed Johnson there. And there's a couple wide receivers I still like here. I'm pretty much done with running back. I mean, if Singletary makes it to me here, I might take a stab on him because he's a great handcuff for Pierce, just based on injury. Could have a nice third down roll in a PPR as well. Still, Tajay Spears is out here. Still a great pick. Yeah. Nice handcuff for Henry in case anything happens to him with being older. And then we still have Daniel Jones on the board. We still got Derek Carr, Kenny Pickett, Jordan Love. Again, which is why I'm not worried so much about drafting a second quarterback. There's going to be guys to stream on my bye week.
Yeah, that's
15 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Oh, 10, 9, 8,
I can't
7.
9, man.
Oh, it's tough. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, he let it go.
There you go.
Tank Dell. Nice little lotto ticket.
Yeah.
Got a lot of people in front of him. Was Mechie still out there? Or did Mechie go already? I assume if you took Tank, Mechie's already gone. Oh shit! There's a bee in here. That's not good. About to get stung.
John Mechie's still out there.
Mechie's out there still.
Still ranked further down.
Wow! I can't believe Tank Dell. I can't believe Tank Dell did it. Oh man. Yeah. He's who I might actually go with. It could be the Mechie and Nico Collins show over there in Houston once CJ Stroud gets his footing. Make sure you take yourself off auto, or once Jerry picks, you're gonna get auto picked whatever's in your queue or top of the board.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, what happened to Bobby? He never responded. Hopefully everything is okay.
Yeah, he took off to a bar. He was driving to a bar.
Oh shit!
We're live, dude.
Real money, real money draft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, easy money. Thanks for your donation, Bobby.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you.
We appreciate your donation to the pot. Absolutely. There's two guys I'm considering here. I could talk about both of them because you can't take them. Basically I'd be betting completely opposite against you with either John Mechie or DJ Chark here.
See, look, Jerry took Ferguson. That's another guy I didn't even want to talk about. That guy.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you even talking about people? Watching us like,
There's still a guy out there, man. I like Luke Musgrave. I think he has some good potential. Oh, there you go. Oh, so you're going the opposite of my guy there.
He's
I do like
Luke as a quarterback
Musgrave
right now, by the way, and that's why I took him.
Oh, that's weird. Well, it's not super flex, so you can't really put him in there.
No, but you can see they have him as a tight end here in sleeper. But they
Reese, we'll get to you here in just a second, Reese. This is our Real Money Live home league draft, and Frank and I are on our last picks, and we'll get to it. And we'll still answer your questions here before we end the stream. But I got a minute to give me 1 minute here.
We're taking a couple extra tight ends because it's tight end premium. I took 3.
I don't know if I can do that. I do like Musgrave.
I might start 2 of these guys if they start doing well. Mark Andrews
and Kincaid
might be in my lineup.
They might beat your wide receiver 4 depending on your setup.
Exactly.
Oh man, who has the higher upside, Mechie or Chark? Both attached to. You know what? I'm gonna go with somebody completely different, and he'll be an easy drop, but could hit like crazy. Let's go, Justin Ross, baby. Let's go.
Oh, he was in my queue. He was my next guy too. I just decided.
You don't have a next. Clear the queue now.
No, I was just saying that he was in my queue as like a pick, like as a choice, an option.
Nice.
Very cool. I just went crazy. It's the last pick. What are you gonna do? Like I was like, you know what? Tight end premium. Get as many as you can.
So LeBron said
already had Kelce go down on me. God forbid Andrews goes down or something like that. You're gonna have a backup on top of that. So I'll just be extra careful.
LeBron says, okay, good. He already had White in his flex, and now we'll get to Reese's question here. Would you start Tyler Higbee over Pitts this week with Kupp out and shady Rams defense? I can see him getting more targets. He's also projected to have 1 to 2 more points now than Pitts after the Kupp news. I don't care so much about those projections on whatever platform you're playing because they're all different depending on what platform it is. Like you said, you're chasing targets. There's no competing targets there. He has rapport with Stafford. The only question is the line so bad at this point? I think they're bottom 5 in offensive line rankings this year. Do they have to keep him in to block? Hopefully they don't. Maybe if they do run more like 12 personnel, bring another tight end in, or is that 11 personnel? I don't know which personnel that is, 11 or 12. Where you bring in the extra tight end and maybe split Higbee out wide, or kind of put him in the slot more so, kind of have him be your slot guy with Jefferson and possibly Tutu Atwell, I assume. So maybe Higbee kind of takes that Cooper Kupp slot role. I've definitely targeted Higbee in several of my leagues. Usually can get him at the end. He did go a little, not early, but I mean where he probably should have went here in this league. But I've been able to usually get him like literally last round. But obviously here in this tight end premium, you can't. So I'm Higbee anyway. Not really been a big fan of Pitts, but it could work. I just think it's going to be the Bijan show over there. I don't know. I haven't been the biggest Pitts fan. I want to see it. I've seen Higbee produce. How do you feel about that?
That's tough.
We're here to answer the tough questions.
Yeah, that one's a tricky one because Rams is just
they're pretty bad.
Pretty bad. It's pretty bad over there right now. It's just who you feel is going to get more touches on that one. I'd probably stick to Pitts, honestly. I don't care for Pitts that much, but
that's good. We don't. It's good when we don't agree.
I think he's a safer flyer this time. This week around. Just if we were talking a different team, I probably went with that tight end or something like that. But I would probably stick with Pitts. It's just too. But then again,
so the Rams do play the Seahawks, who gave up like the most, or if not second most, to tight ends between the Giants, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals. They're like the worst against tight ends. I mean, they did bring Wagner back this year in Seattle, so maybe that helps a little bit. And Jamal Adams isn't supposed to play, so their safety's gone. I don't know. I'm still going with Higbee. I mean, I think he'll see like 12, 15 targets without Cup. You got to throw. Yeah, I mean that's just in my opinion. Yeah, it really is. But yeah, I'd go that route. Who's Pitt's? Let me see who's Pitt's playing. Who's Atlanta playing? They're playing the Panthers. Not a bad matchup either. Just think both teams are going to want to run and control the ball. Not going to be they're not going to be airing it out. The Rams are going to have to air it out. Seahawks are going to be able to have a good enough offense to put up points against this Rams defense. Yeah, I'll take Higbee. So yeah. So see, Reese, that's why I wanted to wait to make sure we gave it enough thought and put some real effort into it. I didn't want to just make a quick rash decision as I was on the clock making a pick there. So it says, okay, no problem. Thanks. Of course. And keep bringing the questions. So this draft is winding down for you and I. It's basically done at this point. We can kind of go through and review the teams here once it's over. The money team just autoed his last pick. A lot of people end up doing that at the end.
I was thinking about taking Deadzone here. I thought probably
definitely not bad at the last round.
But for the last pick, it doesn't,
Yeah, I just took a scratcher. Hopefully it hits. So again, we kind of been talking about it, obviously, with Cooper Kupp. Just a couple last news and notes that we didn't get to, or maybe we did, but we'll just kind of recap them here.
Yeah.
We did talk about Kelce. We did talk about Bosa. Not so, we don't do IDP here, but of course I had to mention it with my Niners. Sean McVay said today there's even a possibility that, obviously, with Kupp being actually ruled out today officially, they're saying there's a chance and a possibility that they put Kupp on IR, meaning he'll miss at least a minimum of 3 games, including this first one. So that'll be 4 games he'll miss. So again, just keep that in mind. Hopefully you can throw him in your IR spot, and hopefully you drafted, deep wide receivers in case something like this does happen, so that you can hold that advantage in those PPR leagues. You have Jalen Waddle, who we talked about earlier, why, he kind of slipped, dealing with an oblique injury, but he was technically limited. But more importantly, Teron Armstead, left tackle, didn't practice because of his back, ankle, and knee issues. He got hurt, a couple weeks back in practice, had somebody roll up on him. Avoided the worst case scenario, but that's just definitely something to kind of keep an eye on. Obviously, a lot of people are worried about Tua's health. And a big part of that, keeping him healthy and not taking the hits he has, is by having their Pro Bowl tackle in Teron Armstead in the lineup, out there active every day. Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy returned to practice today, 13 days after suffering his hamstring injury. He did have a wrap on his leg. He was officially listed as limited. Wasn't seen going full speed or anything like that, but also wasn't seen limping around gingerly either. So I think that's a good sign. Most likely probably should be out, this first week. But again, the fact that they didn't put him on IR, missing the first 4 weeks, makes it more plausible that he'll be back here, hopefully by week 2 or 3. Titans wide receiver Treylon Burks was dealing with that LCL sprain. He was listed as a full participant in practice today. So maybe us D-Hop owners aren't getting that week 1 17 target game that we were probably hoping for without Treylon Burks in the lineup. But if he's there, that also, a little bit of a hit to Chig Okonkwo there at tight end, who definitely would have seen an uptick in targets with Burks out. I still think, D-Hop will get his own, but probably closer to like 10 targets instead of like 17. A couple other things from Ravens camp. Mark Andrews has been dealing with a quad injury. He's been missing practice with an undisclosed injury, but now that it's week 1 and they have to officially list injuries on the injury report here on Wednesday, comes out that it's been a quad injury. He was limited today. The hope is, of course, he'll be ready, and Harbaugh's been saying he should be ready to go week 1. Best part about that injury report is Rashad Bateman, who I drafted here as my wide receiver 5, was not on the injury report at all. So he was completely gone. No limitations. He's good to go. So hopefully we can see that Lamar Bateman connection start to flourish. So I think the draft is ended now. We had Gallup go as Pickett Gallup to go as the last Mr. Irrelevance here off the board. So we'll do a quick recap. We've already been on here for a little while, and see what we got. So in the 101 spot here, we have McCaffrey, Josh Allen, ETN, Darren Waller is his tight end, Brandon Ayuk as his wide receiver 1, Isaiah Pacheco as his RB3 before grabbing his wide receiver 2, and Mike Thomas then kind of spams wide receiver there with Thomas, Sky Moore, and Jacoby Myers. Not bad picks, but I'd love to have 2 other guys up top.
I think I'm done with Thomas. Been done with Thomas.
Yeah, while he's healthy, you got to kind of start him, but we'll see. He started out great last year and then just got hurt again and missed the whole year.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was tough.
And now he's like 2-3 years removed from when he had a good season. Now
he's played I think he's played what did they say, like 10 games in the last 3 seasons. So
yeah, I'm done with that.
It's a little tough. Then he goes Ezekiel Elliott, who we're talking about as RB5, Elijah Mitchell, great RB, as his RB4 goes Elijah Mitchell as RB5, gets his QB2 and Jared Goff, and then grabs Jalen Hyatt, and Michael Gallup here to round off his draft. So that's the 101. You get here Smitty going Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, T. Higgins, Breece Hall, DeAndre Hopkins, and Cam Akers. Grabs the second tight end in Pitts here in the 7th. Then goes on a wide receiver run. Some pretty good wide receivers too, at least in Johnson and Dotson. And then grabs, I thought that was Jackson Smith and the Jigba, but that's actually Juju Smith-Schuster. Then he goes Adam Thielen. I was like, oh damn, JSN fell to the 10th. That was a great pick. And then gets Adam Thielen, who you guys kind of been hearing me rag on, just not somebody I'm taking at that point in the draft. But who knows? Could work out. Then he goes Tank Bisbee, nice pick. Damian Harris, who's been falling in drafts, who's basically the Ezekiel Elliott of Buffalo. And then he gets Kenny Pickett here in the 14th. You want to go ahead and read off the next 2?
Which one did you leave off? Kenny Pickett on the 14th?
The Justin Jefferson, yeah.
So what's it?
Twisted Crew.
Twisted Crew. Oh, okay. I like that name. What is that icon? Yeah,
it's like it's kind of like a weird, scary little face thing. It's pretty cool. I like it.
So he went with Jay Jetta. Solid number 1 pick going off. Waddle following up with that. I like those 2 in combo. If I could get those 2, I'd be more than happy. Jahmyr Gibbs, who's up and coming. Amari Cooper's been dropping some good numbers over there in Cleveland after he left Dallas, so he can't hurt on him. And Deshaun Watson with them this year should be looking better. Dallas Goedert of Philadelphia, DeAndre Swift, who I'm fading. I'm done with that guy. Hopefully he does better in Philadelphia than he did with the Lions, but I'm done with them. Jasmine Jigma, JSN rounding out as wide receiver 3 there. 4, I mean? Yeah, 3, right? No, 4.
4, yeah. This flex, yeah.
He went with Dak in the 8th. He's the one that got him. Quentin Johnson, Kadarius Toney, who's back at practice, healthy. Hopefully he stays healthy. He might have some good.
Should be active week 1. Yeah.
Should be active week 1. So hopefully he maybe has some active numbers over there. He backed up his Dak Prescott with the Geno Smith. Then he gets Sam Laporta, rookie here, as a backup tight end as well. And then finished off with Kenneth Gainwell and Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, who's not on the team, but I mean, if he's your last pick like that, no harm, no foul. I don't think that's bad.
Tycoon would love it.
Yeah, right. That's decent like that. Let's see. We got TMT, the money.
Money team,
right? You got Chase here, and he's the one that goes Hurts before Mahomes. So there's a changing of the quarterback guard there, but then the Mahomes and Allen went right after that.
I mean, he was the QB1 last year.
He was. So maybe there is a change in the guard. We got to pay attention to that. I'm happy that I have it, so I ain't hating on this. I'm not hating. Don't get me wrong. He did end up taking Cooper Kupp, the risk, in the 3rd. So, I mean, I think that's a pretty decent spot to take Cooper. It's going to be hard for him to continue to fall if he did. Even though with the hamstring injury, you got to go with the numbers. I mean, the dude's solid. As long as he plays, we should be okay. Aaron Jones.
I'm surprised he passed up Devonta Smith right there. Because he could have had the stack with Hurts and didn't have to deal with the Kupp injury, potential IR. That would have just been a much better pick, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because and then it was a whole quarterback run that happened right after that cut.
Yeah.
Pick. So he should have you're right. He should have picked Devontae Smith there. Um, Aaron Jones, Kenneth Walker is his RBs here. Then he goes Christian Watson, who's also got a little bit of injury situation going on, but pretty solid player. Should be fine. Jamal Williams there over there coming back from his injury. He got him in the 7th. So, decent area to be taking him as an RB3 as well. Evans, Tampa Bay. Hopefully they have a decent season over there. I'm not trying to pick up Evans.
I personally think that Javonte Williams pick was a wasted pick. I much rather had Christian Kirk, knowing Cup's going to be out when we had this draft. And when you already spent draft capital on Aaron Jones and Ken Walker back to back on that double tap, I would have just hit another wide receiver there and then filled out with some good running back depth later.
Running back situation, right? But
yeah, hey, it is what it is. I didn't mind since I was in this draft.
I like when people take players that I don't want to have a decision on. I'm so glad that they're gone. That way I don't have to look at them in my queue and be like, do I want to take that guy? Do I? Got to weigh the injuries. You got to weigh the thing. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for making my decision easy. I don't have to worry about that. So after Evans, he took Khalil Herbert. I like him. Cole Kmet is his tight end 1. A little late on that, considering it's a tight end premium. But hey, what do we know? Maybe he's going to be pretty solid above these other guys.
Doesn't take much to be a top 8 tight end. So
yeah. No, it doesn't. But I mean, I got number 2, maybe number 1 tight end, so I'm happy there. So I don't care. And I also took a couple off the board, so in case they need to pick somebody up, I'm making it difficult. Maybe you need to trade. Zay Flowers coming up, the wide receivers there at Baltimore. He's looking pretty decent. Devon Achane in Miami. He might be something. Who knows? Van Jefferson, who I was talking about for the cut, because he did kind of back that up with Van, because he did take Cup. So maybe see what he did there. So maybe you can start Van over Cup this week and actually be okay.
Still much rather start Christian Kirk over Van Jefferson, but just me.
I get you. Yeah, I know. I mean, honestly, had he fixed that whole situation with the Devontae Smith, we wouldn't be talking about it. So, and he took Daniel Jones as his last pick for a QB2, which was cool. I mean, I was looking at Daniel Jones myself. I wouldn't mind taking him. So yeah, it's
But if he makes the playoffs and Cup is healthy by the end of the year, like the second half of the year, back to Cup and Chase, and Hurts, this is going to be a hard team to beat. I'm a little worried about that.
Oh, you got a quick question. What's up, guys? Should I start Sam Laporta tomorrow?
What up, 7 Rings?
Or drop him to pick up Jawan Johnson and start him?
I have the same exact scenario that I'm dealing with, and I'm rolling with Laporta, baby. It's week 1. Plenty of time to if it fails, you can fix it.
Jawan Johnson is the number 1 over there in New Orleans right now.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Yeah. But I like Laporta. You drafted him. Start him week 1. If there's any time to start him now, because he may be droppable in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. Get in while you get in.
See what he gets now, yeah. Look intelligent, and then when it doesn't happen, it's like, what did you expect? He's a rookie tight end. No rookie tight end's ever done anything. So there you go. Yeah, let's go. I'm right there with you. Like I said, man, I'm right here with you guys.
Yeah,
I stand behind my start sit decisions. I'm rolling with you. We're either winning together or losing together. Whatever it is, we're doing it together.
We're doing it.
You're not on the ride alone. All right, yeah. So very nice. So you want to go next? I'll do the next 2.
Yeah, which is, I mean, we kind of picked a little bit on that team. I'm not so fond. If I was grading it, he would not be in the top 6.
Yeah, there you go.
I would just say it that way. I'm not going to give it a grade. I'm just saying not in the top 6.
There you go. Josh Anders in the building. What's up, Josh? He's saying, "What's up, guys? I just traded a Cup and Skyway for Debo and Addison. Haha, way to get out of that. Yeah, maybe you sold a little low, but hey, you got out of it. It's somebody else's problem to deal with the rest of the year. You got 2 decent guys. I like it. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So yeah,
get your guys.
Yes, Pasadena Patriots. What's up, man?
Anymore? Like you're good.
Yeah, I like just not having to deal with it. So there you go. And Brooks said he's rolling with Laporta. I don't know if you put that one up already. So let's go. I'm right there with you, my guy. All right, so we'll get through the rest of these teams here. Yeah, probably not going to do the Best Ball Mania tonight. We've already been on for almost 2 hours, so we'll just recap this draft and we'll get out of it. We'll be back here Friday for a long show for the start sit, so we'll get into more stuff then. So where would we leave off? D-Man. So D-Man goes Austin Eckler, Dameon Pierce, a little early there. Joe Burrow, a little early. Seen him go in the 4th, 5th range there. But get your guy. Grabs Jonathan Taylor, and then and I'm fine with all 4 of those picks. Obviously I probably wouldn't go Taylor, but the pick that gets me is this Rashad Penny pick, grabbing your RB4 before your RB1 or before your wide receiver 1, in a 3 wide receiver full PPR league. If it was a different running back, maybe, but like Penny's like almost going undrafted. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe he knows something we don't know. But yeah, so then he follows it up with Jerry Jeudy. Looks like he should be back maybe week 2, week 3. Hopefully he could stay healthy and doesn't, have a setback like Cup.
Tight end. Both of those.
So could I. Yeah.
I would have went wide receiver.
I went Cooper. Yeah, for sure. Cooper, and then like DJ Moore at least. I mean, it was rough. I could understand why he just went running back. But that's more so why you don't go Pierce in the second line. Anyway.
Follow what it says on
the ADPs, yeah.
Yeah, the ADPs.
It's all about the construction. Yeah, it's all about your construction.
Build your team.
Hey, at least Bobby made it in the chat. What's up, GG's? We saw you like auto draft the second half of your team, so hopefully you're drinking well because your team. He likes to trade though, so he's good. So, so there he goes. He says he just got to the bat. What grade you guys give for me? We didn't give you a grade, but if I had to give you a grade, we'll call it a D-.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, we'll just call it a D-. Nah, it was decent, man. There's just a couple things we didn't agree with, so to speak. Just more so in the mid rounds. The top half of your draft was okay. But Ayuk as your wide receiver 1's tough, and Pacheco getting your RB3 before your wide receiver 2, 3, and 4 in a 3 wide receiver league is it was just unnecessary.
Yeah.
And then you had to grab for these kind of wide receivers when you could have just been stacking running backs in this range, especially since you had McCaffrey and ETN already. Like, you did not need Pacheco there. I think the team would have turned out a lot better. And I would have waited on Waller too, but that's not bad. Yeah, I would have taken Hawkins as my one. Grade. Yeah, honestly, I'll say C-. We'll say C-. I can't rate you that bad. But come talk to me. We might have to trade. I'll help you fix it.
Yeah,
I think that's about where you started autoing anyway, so in that range. But it's all good. You can fix it. It's plenty of time. It's not best ball, so you can fix these. Frank knows I traded in my entire team except for Peyton Manning and Brandon Marshall one year and came back and won the whole thing. Yeah. So it happens. That was my fire sale year. All right. So anyway, back to D-Man. Let's see. We'll give you the time if you're in the
guys he's been keeping an eye on. So
there you go.
Comfortable. He's looking at these guys, thinking they're going to be breaking out. Obviously, so
for sure
he waited for the guys that he thinks he's on to break out. That's sometimes that works. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you got to trust the expert. Sometimes.
Exactly. All right. So getting back to D-Man's team here again, he goes Jeudy, Gabe Davis, Tyler Boyd, Rashee Rice, Odell Beckham. As his kind of wide receiver core, just has to spam all those guys. Yeah, after he went up top.
Yeah.
Grabs his tight end here, Everett, who's not a bad tight end premium attached to a great quarterback.
Yeah.
A lot of mouths in that offense, but he should be able to find his.
The only thing I have with that tight end is that he's been going last in some of these picks, like literally.
Yeah, tight end premium, you expect him to bump up a couple rounds. So
yeah, but hopefully,
but as his tight end one,
I'm not falling for the Everett scheme again.
He's just a streamer guy. Like, I love grabbing him just last.
But yeah. It's been a couple years.
Like you said.
He's supposed to be the guy, and
we don't have to just totally bag on D-Man's team, man. You're just laying into him.
On Gerald Everett specifically.
At least he didn't get the 12 pick, man. At least he didn't get the 12 pick. He switched it to Jerry now. Jerry got the 12 pick in all 3 of our home leagues this year. Yes. So he's the new D-Man. Yeah, he's the new D-Man now.
He's under the D-Man spell now.
For sure.
So anyway,
so Gerald Everett, and then he finishes off with Zay Jones, Rondell Moore, and Dak or Derek Carr. I was like, did Dak made it all the way down here? But no. I just I don't know why I thought that said Dak, but Derek Carr. And it's probably because I'm not drinking tonight. So yeah.
He's a Raiders fan. I think he had some some love for him.
Oh, there you go. So now we go over to the Dream Team here at the 6th spot. And again, just for those who are tuning in, this is a real money draft, not a mock. This is an actual draft we just did for our home league, Frank and I, and Dustin here, whose team we'll go through next. So this is a real draft, real money on the line here. Championship ring from TrophySmack.com. Promo code GetRight is on the line as well. Customized ring. to the winner of this league. So Tyreek Hill, Chris Olave killed it out of the gate. Lamar Jackson gets a elite quarterback there. Ramondre Stevenson still sneaks in with a high-end RB2, low-end RB1. Pat Fairmouth, tight end premium, not bad pick there in the 5th. Goes Michael Pittman. I might have went Christian Watson instead of Pittman, but that's just my personal preference. Then goes back around and gets Christian Kirk, who I love. So, I mean, I could have just really loved this core if it was Christian Watson instead of Pittman there. I just like what I've seen from Jordan Love in the preseason. Not a lot of the other rookies and stuff kind of impressed. So when Love did look good, it made me feel a lot more confident in this Green Bay offense. Speaking of which, here goes A.J. Dillon. Here's his RB2. Definitely in a hero kind of RB build here. Zach Charbonnet, just kind of getting handcuffs and flexible type guys. Grabs his QB2 and Kirk Cousins here in the 10th. Good value. Grabs Carlos Sutton here. Or Cortland. What did I say? Carlos? Jesus Christ. Carlos. Cortland Sutton.
You're getting bad like I am.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm like, I can't even talk anymore. I need a drink. Then we go Deuce Vaughn, Tyler Algier, and Evan Hull. Yeah, there you go. To round it out. So not a bad team there.
Take Deuce on my last pick. He reached for him.
Yeah, he got him a little early. But he kind of had to. He's going with that spray and pray, literally a hero RB where you're just grabbing a bunch of RB2s that could potentially, if there's an injury, then Bijan gets hurt. Boom, he has Algier. It's either trade to the Bijan owner or now he has his RB2 for a week or two. Pollard goes down. Boom, potentially Vaughn is the next man up. I think you said you liked Waddle a little bit better there, but Vaughn's not bad. Again, anything happens, thinking Walker, who's kind of coming in the year with a groin injury already. Zach Charbonnet, and he's the third down back already in a PPR. So I like that pick. And then A.J. Dillon. Yeah, A.J. Dillon's basically like Brian Robinson, who went, around later. But just kind of your first and second down guy. Will catch a couple passes here and there, maybe like 3 every other game. 3 in 2 games.
So we're good with that.
Friend of the podcast. So definitely, don't mind drafting him. Your classic kind of hero, modified hero, kind of wide receiver heavy build there. But I think he executed it good. So we'll see how it goes. Definitely a team I'm keeping my eye on. Then we got Dustin here in the 7th spot. Why don't you go ahead, read off Dustin's team?
So Dustin, So we have El Chivo 209 going with Stephon Diggs and Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God.
Here, can I stop you? I didn't realize we had some questions in the chat. I don't want to lose the viewers.
Oh, no, we're good.
Make sure if you guys are watching right now, hit that subscribe button for us. If you're already subscribed, hit that like button. Helps us just as much as a subscribe so we can keep coming out here answering your questions live on our live streams. We have Z Money in the chat saying Tin Man, PPR, T-Law, Etienne, Stevenson, Jefferson, Lamb, Mark Andrews, and Pickens as his flex. What are you thinking about that team? I like it. Got a lot of high-end pieces there. That's what you want in Tin Man. Receivers are strong. You got 2 basically first-round picks in Jefferson and Lamb. So it's nice that Lamb fell all the way back to you. Probably went Jefferson, Lamb, Stevenson on the turn. Mark Andrews, and then maybe Pickens, and then T-Law is probably how that ended up drafting out. No, Etienne's in there somewhere too.
Had to get T-Law after that, and then Pickens.
Yeah, I think he went Stevenson, Etienne. I don't know how did he get Lamb to come all the way back to him. That's crazy. Either way, that's a great one. So good team. It's a 10-man. It's just So I think you nailed it. That's what you want, top end talent
anymore, because you get a little bit more top end talent than we're used to. We're used to playing 12-man. I was just talking to my buddy at the barbecue spot, and he said that they were at a 16. They cut it back to a 14. That 16 was just too rough, and I agree.
14 and 16, those are man leagues right there.
Yeah, those are man leagues.
Right, those are some serious stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
Those
there
are
is
serious.
No waiver wire anymore.
Like you're trying to, you're grinding in those leagues, man. You're grinding. So we got who is this? MGJMHK. I don't know what that stands for. But either way, appreciate you coming out. I don't know if I've seen this name before, so if you're new to us, hit that subscribe button for us. We'll get your start say questions here. Or your rate your team. We love those too. So he says, rate my draft 12 team, half PPR, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, 6 point per passing touchdowns at the 101. See, I love if you're going to ask questions or like rate my team, this is how you ask them. This is the cliche how you ask a question, because then you're going to get a perfect answer right out of the gate.
Knowledgeable answer.
There you go. So he goes JJ, Olave, Hurts, London, Pierce, Mike Will, Pacheco, Jamal Williams, Ingram, Eli Mitchell, Jameson Williams, Algier, Deuce Vaughn, Rondell Moore, and then the Pats D. I really like this team. Looks like you went kind of what I call, again, my villain RB build, where you go, 3 wide receivers, get that elite quarterback and Hurts. Then you kind of take Pierce as your villain RB, so to speak, instead of a hero RB. Drafting him in the first 2 rounds, you kind of get a running back in the 4 or 5 or 6 round. Then you kind of just stack a couple other running backs that'll kind of get you through, like Jamal Williams, Pacheco, and then some nice handcuffs in Mitchell and Algier and Deuce. The only pick I kind of disagree with here, I'm not that big on J-Mo and redraft this year, but you did kind of build out the depth to be able to absorb him. And I'm not that big on Rondell Moore, just not big on that offense. So that's my thoughts. Frank, what are you thinking on this team?
I'm liking it too. I'm like kind of just kind of looking at it, absorbing some of that, because he took the 101 with JJ, comes back with Olave Hurts.
Yeah.
Third,
London Pierce.
Well, yeah, I like it.
It's good Pierce. Yeah.
It's you got some good pieces. You got some depth enough to see what happens to some of these guys later on. Hopefully, the guys stay healthy, and if some guys go down, you can really come up with Mitchell and Algier there, and even Deuce Vaughn. So I'm really.
And Mitchell should still have some flex appeal as well too. Like
he might be some standalone value, because they already said they're not going to be.
It's not going to be the CMC show like how it was in Carolina. It'll be more of a mix. So keep him fresh for the playoffs, because we're trying to make a run over there.
He's getting older, and they just want to keep him healthy.
Just get a lead, and then Mitchell assaulted away. So Neanderthal was laughing, I think, when we were giving Gigi's team a D- over there. So
no, he's laughing away because he's the new Doug.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did kind of clown on him for that too. Maybe he was laughing at both. I didn't want to laugh at you for that, Jerry. That's a rough spot to be in. 3 different times. And what's crazy is we randomized 7 times, and literally of the 7, I think 4 or 5 of them he was still in the 12. Like he didn't even move. 12. Yeah, it's like if you go back and look, like you're like, oh man, you're just meant to have 12. Bro.
I like the first one. I was like, oh, I'm in the 4th. I like that. That's good.
Oh, the very first random I had the 101. That would have been nice.
Yeah, you had.
All right, so go ahead, finish off Dustin's team, and we'll try to finish off the rest of the teams here and get out of here.
Yeah. So where we were at, so we did the 2 wide receivers, Diggs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. It takes Justin Fields because there was a run at.
He freaked out, I think, and he didn't want to get caught up in that. He was like, "I'm grabbing my guy now."
Yeah, exactly. Because I was like,
what's going on?
Because it went with Mahomes and Allen, right? And then after that, it was Burrow, Jackson. He's like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Yeah, I'm not missing out on this train.
Gone right off the bat, and sometimes that happens in drafts where some people kind of start going, the other person it creates a panic. You're almost like, whoa, I don't want to be left behind. I'm already thinking I'm not going to draft these guys right now. Anyways, I was already looking to get them later. So either way, I like Justin Fields this year. Good pick. TJ Hawkinson, under the top tight end. So White can't go with
premium,
yeah. So I think he sniped you with J.K. Dobbins. I think you remember that. He was looking at him. I like Dobbins this year. Hopefully he stays healthy. Knock on wood for that guy. And then we got James Conner, who I like as a PPR champ, because who else is there? Then we got George Pickens as a wide receiver 3 with Addison as well. Good choices there. He backed up with Evan Ingram as well, because it is, again, tight end premium. You need to get your backups in there as well. Then we get to Deion Jackson there, the running back up and coming, possibly if JT doesn't play. So he's already kind of thinking for future and handcuff type situations, whatnot going on there. Russell Wilson as a backup QB. Jamal Williams coming up here. I think he's on the suspended list. I've taken a couple of drafts. I didn't want to take him on this one. I just wanted to hold out. He did snipe me with Roshan Johnson. Really like him, especially as late as he's going. Really happy with that guy. I was hoping he would fall to me. Some people have been going to the last pick of the draft. I was really looking at some of these guys as last picks. And then Marvin Mims.
You're drafting with sharks over here, Frank.
Yeah,
that ain't gonna happen.
They're not messing around, right? So Marvin Mims is the last pick, because we got some injuries going on over there in Denver, and I've actually taken him a couple of drafts as well, and he looks really good. So I like him.
Nice little deep threat.
Yeah, and then we got Blastman, who is.
Before you get to that, we got Robert Thomas in the house saying, "Evening, gang. What's up, Robert? How's it going, man? Appreciate you checking it out." Hit that like button for us if you haven't already. Helps us just as much as subscribe. But go ahead. Go with Blastman's team.
So Blastman 420 here. That's one of our buddies down in the SoCal area by you, Anthony.
He's like mid. I think he's like in the Bakersfield area.
Oh, he's in Bakersfield now? Okay, I thought he was close to
I guess we probably shouldn't be telling people where people live on this stream.
Yeah, nice.
People actually watch now. Like when we first started, we had like 5 people. It was okay, but now we got a couple people who watch the show now. So sorry about that, Blast Man.
I was gonna go look him up. Anyways, we're not giving.
They might. Name out. They're like, I saw you drafted Chubb on the Get Right Fantasy Network. I want your autograph.
Right.
Yeah.
So you started off with Nick Chubb, solid pick of the running back there. I'm not sure if I would have passed up on Arthur Jones-Brown here, but whatever. Garrett Wilson, who I like this year, looking good over there with Aaron Rodgers. Devontae Smith, because this guy passed up on him and took Cooper Kupp. So I fell to him. All these guys panicked and took these quarterbacks right there. So hey,
crazy run.
You just benefited. Najee Harris, who I don't like. Not a fan of Najee Harris this year. Doesn't have the just playing volume over there.
Very inefficient. Volume. Yeah, inefficient volume.
Inefficient volume. That's the best way to put it. Scary Terry with the injury. Maybe he comes back. Hopefully he does. He's okay.
For the record, Scary Terry is the man. I don't hate on Scary Terry. I just not drafted him where you're going because I love Dotson like 4 rounds later.
Yeah, it's just
that's the only reason I've been out on Scary Terry.
A better value that probably produced similar numbers, right?
Yeah. And the toe injury could linger into the season, but I'm not as worried about the injury. I just think John Dotson's the man. Anyway, go ahead. My bad.
Better value. Better value.
Yeah.
Kamara there, coming in the 6th, and obviously doing a 4-game suspension for him. We got Chris Godwin, who I'm not touching Godwin's or Evans this year in Tampa Bay. I just need to see what's going on with the quarterback situation. I just see the struggle season. Tua is his quarterback. Finally takes him, which was a nice pick where he took him out, I think, at the 8th.
Definitely good value.
Higbee, we got here again. We were just talking about him. Anthony's willing to get him started up, so why not fire him up? Jamal Williams, which he just basically stacked the New Orleans running back score.
He is a New Orleans fan, for the record.
Yeah,
I don't know if that helped in his decision, but
that
he went a little bit of a homer pick there.
Yeah, so he ended up getting both of the guys there, so he's definitely going to be starting one of those guys, all right?
Surprised he didn't go Olave over Wilson though, so that's interesting. But maybe because he wanted to get Kamara later. Anyway, go ahead.
Later, right? Yeah, he's already
got to get out of here. We already hit 2 hours. Go ahead. My bad.
Raheem Mostert, Anthony Richardson, which he snuck in on a little later on. I was thinking about taking him, but I was noticing real quick. I just wanted to mention this. Anthony and I are the only 2 teams that did not take a backup QB.
Did we? Are we really? I didn't even notice that.
Everybody else's board. Everybody has.
No way.
You and I are the only ones.
That's crazy. Yeah. That is crazy.
But we'll stream one guy 1 week. Hopefully our guys.
Yeah, there's still Jordan Love. You got Stafford. You got Sam Howell, Jimmy G. Like I could still get Jimmy G and still have a stack with Adams even. That's exactly who I'm probably going to take on my bye week. Right? But anyway, go ahead.
I mean, we're just looking at hopefully our guys stay healthy and you don't need to get one of those guys. But we'll see how it pans out, right? I mean, let's just face it. And then Chigo Kwangwo, a backup tight end for him, and then rounded out with Devin Singletary in Houston. Not really. I mean, that was just like whatever. I did like Chigo Kwangwo there where he took him at late. So yeah.
Very cool.
What are you thinking? We should have been grading these almost like.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of wanted to go through them and just get a feel for the teams in our initial just kind of gut reaction. So we can come back at the end of the year and check it out. So
I like this build.
I think he has one of the top teams. Yeah, I like
the players on the build, but I like the build. I don't
if you see, it's very similar to our build, and I think that's why you like it.
Yeah.
Like where we got our quarterback, we kind of filled those other positions first, So I think that's why we're kind of feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what it is. Daddy Jandro.
Yeah. You want me to go for these next 2?
Yeah. All
right.
Your turn. Well, I'll get yours.
And I guess it's mine, and then you can. Okay, and I'll do yours. We'll switch. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Go with Dandy.
Actually, no, we should say our own, so that kind of works out perfect. Because we could say like what we were thinking. So Daddy Jandro goes Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard. So he goes with this double hero RB build out of the gate. Still bypasses wide receiver, goes Justin Herbert. Bypasses wide receiver again. Again, this is 3 wide receiver, full PPR. Tight end premium goes George Kittle after he's seen a couple or seen you go Andrews. Passes up on Hawkinson to go Kittle there. It might be a San Francisco fan. This is a California draft. Then he goes Alexander Madison. So elects to get his flex / RB3 before his wide receiver 1, and ends up with still a decent wide receiver core. Drake London, Marquise Brown, Brandon Cooks. If you like those guys, I'm fine with London in certain situations, but I'm pretty much out on Hollywood. I still don't know what to feel about Cooks yet. I just, I want to see it. Yeah, I want to see it. Like I like him more as like a wide receiver 5. Yeah,
whatever.
Exactly.
I think it's some of the best addition that we made over Dallas because he needs to take the pressure off of CD.
But is he that guy anymore? Like I don't know. He's coming into 29. Have that injury history in the middle of his career. Had a down year, but it was just Houston with Davis Mills as a quarterback. Yeah. He is getting an upgrade to Dak, who's not afraid to sling it around and throw picks everywhere.
Off over there in Houston.
Yeah, but he did find the year before. But yeah, it was tough. So we'll see. I'm rooting for the guy again. He is 29. So we'll see what happens there with Brandon Cooks. Grabs my guy here, Brian Robinson, who sniped me right ahead. So I went Gibson right after. But he goes Treylon Burks, who we talked about back at practice now. Bryce Young as his QB2 here, taking a shot on the rookie. Goes Elijah Moore, who I was trying to decide between Moore and Warren as well there too. Then he goes, then he gets me with Nico Collins, who I probably would have taken there instead of Jawan. But full disclosure, snipes me there. And then I was also deciding between Chark and Ross. I actually had Chark queued up ahead of time, but I have so much Chark. I have a lot of Ross too, but I thought my team needed a little Justin Ross in it. So I let him get Chark there. I'll say I let him get it. So not bad. Obviously, a lot of picks I was considering myself. So I really kind of like the bottom half of the draft, except for the QB2. Again, just how we mentioned, there's a lot of QBs out there to stream in a 1 QB league. It's not necessary to me. And then, I like a lot of the picks except for kind of just how he didn't grab a wide receiver early, but still even get it up some decent wide receivers here that could pop and hit. So it's kind of like high risk, but high reward at the same time. So I want to say I kind of disagree with it because it's like the complete opposite of my build, as you can kind of see. Like our colors are like literally flip-flopped. But the actual players, again, minus Hollywood, like I like all the individual players themselves. It's just as a collective, we'll see how they come together in this build.
I'm down on his wide receivers. I mean, I like Cooks. I like Marquise. I'd like to have WR1s versus WR2s. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. It's just his wide receivers, and I do like the stack with Young and Chark there at the end, so I think that was good for him. It's just every single wide receiver that the quarterback is attached to every single of his wide receivers is a question mark, except for like Dak. But I mean, every other one is kind of like a question mark and not really known as like a passer, right? You got Ritter, you got Josh Dobbs, who we'll see what happens. We saw the disaster.
Is Toon or Dobbs, or what is it?
No, it's Dobbs now. They just announced it today.
Yeah. They switched it up again. Yeah.
So and he looked terrible last year. Granted, it was just Treylon Burks is the only weapons he had and Chiga Konkwo, but yeah, they let him go. After giving him an opportunity there, he couldn't even beat out Willis. So we'll see how that goes. And then, Cooks, like I said, attached to Dak, that's okay. But then you got Burks attached to Tannehill, who not a lot of people like. I do personally. Elijah Moore attached to Deshaun Watson, that's okay. But then you got 2 rookies and Bryce Young and CJ Stroud attached to Collins and Chark. So just a lot of question marks when it comes to that's why I'm not so down on the actual wide receivers themselves and their talent. It's more so the situation and the quarterbacks they're attached to.
That's kind of why
has me worried.
I'm down on them because that just makes me like not care. That's the same reason I don't like the Tampa Bay guys. I'm like, what are they gonna do with Baker?
Exactly.
Yeah, come on.
All right, so we'll try to fly through this here. So we got my team up here next. I went Arthur Juan Brown here, Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley fell to me there. Probably was going to take Andrews. Then as I talked about it on the stream, felt like I wanted to go Amari Cooper right here with this pick, but decided to go Mixon to have a balanced build and not put myself in a situation where like Miles Sanders was my RB1. So I felt like I did okay there, getting Sanders here as my RB2.
Anyways.
Right. Well, I mean, as my RB2, and that's a huge difference because there's such a tier drop off right after Sanders. And And I'm so happy that Jandro took Madison because it was really between the two of them. And honestly, I preferred Sanders over Madison. So I was really happy the way that turned out. I really like how I kind of navigated this 4, 5, and 6 range for me here. I basically called my shot with the Watson and Njoku, turn here. So that to me worked out exactly perfectly. I did get sniped here on Brian Robinson, so I got the next best thing in that same backfield in Antonio Gibson. So I guess I had a type right there. Came back and got my RB4 as Jerick McKinnon, especially if Kelce's out. And just, end of the year, very strong, 10 points or more in a PPR.
I like him over Pacheco.
Yeah. In a PPR league, I like him. I think he's flexible. And let alone anything happens. Pacheco is already kind of banged up, had some surgeries on the wrist and shoulder in the offseason. So we'll see if he can hold up all the way through. He's not the biggest guy and he runs violently. So there could be some opportunities there for McKinnon. Then I went Rashad Bateman, which I was so happy he fell back to me there too. So honestly, everything worked out perfect for the most part, except for getting sniped by Lawrence there. And but again, I like how I kept with it and still had a plan B and C after how all that played out and didn't panic. Went Rashad Bateman there, who I think is great upside for my wide receiver 5. Attached to a great quarterback. Then I went Jalen Warren here, just as a lotto, RB5. Then just got a little secondary tight end here in Juwan Johnson, pretty decent tight end premium. And then I took kind of my long shot, my reach, my gamble, my lotto ticket, and Justin Ross attached to Patrick Mahomes to see how that, all ends up turning out. So, and I just like the kid and rooting for him. So go get your guy. All right. So go ahead.
I mean, I had him in my queue too, so I was looking at him. You know what I mean? Yeah. There was a lot of sniping happening at the end there to me. So I ended up getting Bijan. He fell to me. I was like, okay, well, I guess nobody wants to take this guy. I'm going to take him. And ended up getting CeeDee Lamb after that. Jerry here, Neanderthal Ball, ends up taking Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, which kind of
I thought he for sure was going to grab Adams. I don't know how it made it past him being a Raider fan. I honestly don't know.
Raider fan. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I had to take my guy. So it fell to you for that. I don't understand why he didn't take him. Also, I like Saquon. I would have passed on Henry, and that would have been Devontae Lamb for me anyways. So if he would have let that slide that way, but it didn't happen. Since I ended up getting Bijan and CD like that, I was already thinking, okay, hero RB build in my mind, because I was like, okay, you got to go with what you got. What fell to you, how you started, where you're at.
Right. You don't come in with the strategy. You kind of just take best available, and then around 4 or 5, that's when you kind of start deciding which way you're going to go.
Yeah, and then as it goes back around, Andrews is his tight end premium league. He falls to me, and I'm like, I'm not going to let him go to the 4th round.
That was all because of that damn QB run. Because Ridley fell to me, Andrews fell to you.
Yeah. All these guys that took Bro, Jackson, Fields, and Herbert in this, this run, it's like, hey, well, hey.
I thought Devontae Smith was going to fall to me late 3rd. I was like, oh my God.
Are you kidding me? That would have been awesome. Then I would have had Ridley. After that. But I don't know. I still don't know if I would have passed up on Andrews. Just, again, tight end premium, being the tight end, literally the number 2 guy lately, and has been and could be the number 1 guy this year if Kelce stays hurt. Maybe I get lucky and got the number 1 guy in the 3rd. Keenan Allen for my wide receiver 2, and then DJ Moore had some excellent flashes here in preseason over there with Chicago. Had to get that guy. Then I wanted to kind of this is where I was like, oh, do I continue with wide receivers or start going for the running back? And I just kind of decided, I just round off.
To my chagrin.
Yeah, I was like, let's just take the last guy in the wide receiver tier here. And he's literally, and I was like, he already had, because we had 2 rounds of no quarterbacks anymore. And I was like,
3, almost 3.
Almost 3
rounds. Oh, no, yeah,
right?
no, 2 full rounds. 2 full rounds. You're right. Yeah.
And then that's when I was like, this is it. I got to grab my, grab a guy. And I don't have any pieces of Trevor Lawrence. I do like him. Now he's, now that he's in the league for his 3rd year, he's looking really good. Should be his breakout year. I feel he looked better last year. Because the first year was kind of rough as a rookie, and he hadn't lost yet in this whole thing and all that. But now he's looking solid. So I'm really happy with him there. I ended up getting James Cook, then Demont, and then Samaje Perine. A lot of guys are really happy with James Cook and Demont and Samaje Perine are very good situations. Perine could be the number one running back over there in Denver, so I'm really happy with him. Ended up taking Dalton Kincaid, also very happy with him. Although he's a stack with James Cook, but I'm not worried about that. Tight end premium, and Buffalo took him as the number one tight end, number one pick. They drafted up to get to this guy. I just feel that he's going to have an incredible season. Hopefully I'm right, and he's the next Travis Kelce. So I've taken him in other leagues as well. I'm very, looking to get this guy this year. Anthony knows I like to just try to pick a tight end. I've been lucky to get the right kind of, guys on my team as far as tight ends and pick them up in drafts. So I feel good about him. Romeo Dubes is a little bit injured.
I'll never forget that Ricky Seals-Jones freaking play out of nowhere. Just went off. That was the only thing he's done in fantasy ever. It's the 1 week you started him.
The 2 weeks.
Like, what? 2 weeks. Oh, yeah, it was 2 weeks.
Literally played him the 2 best weeks of his whole
his career, yeah.
Got lucky.
Insane.
It was just neat hook and looking around at everybody, and I literally spent hours looking for people. But anyways, Romeo Dubes is the wide receiver 2 over there at Green Bay.
I like that pick.
As far as
Jerry said he tries not to pick his own team's players. That's why he didn't go Adams.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, there you go. See, there's the other situation that I have. Same thing. Yeah, I try not to get my own guys, but I only got one guy. I got CeeDee Lamb. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel that's okay. Like if you just get one guy out of
it was in the right spot. You didn't reach. You didn't do anything crazy.
Exactly. Then
you even passed on him for Bijan first, because normally CD goes easily there at the 111.
But Bijan being who that guy is, I was like, no,
it's a steal at 111. So the more I'm thinking about it, I probably should have won him because I got to have Bijan. If I would have known Ridley was going to fall to me as in the 3rd, I would have taken Bijan. If I would have known that was going to happen, Jesus.
Hindsight being 2020.
Seriously.
And the thing, Jonathan Mingo, who I think is going to have a good season this year. I've seen some really good footage on that guy, and again, he's tired. He's just a decent guy that I've been looking at to get, as well as Tank Dell.
6'2", 220, 22 years old. That's what I like about him. 6'2", 220.
Yeah.
Prototypical X receiver. Yeah. Doesn't go down easy.
Last guy is because I was already looking at Deuce Vaughn to take him at last pick. Somebody already sniped him for me. Roshan Johnson, another guy that I was looking at to take as my last pick, sniped. Jawan Johnson that you took after I sniped me before I even. None of those 3 guys were fallen and mock drafts and things like that in the last round or even picked. And I was like, I got no problem. I don't even got to worry about those guys. That's who exactly I was looking at to get as my last pick. And I was like, And then since you took Jawan Johnson and since they're putting Taysom Hill as a quarterback, I'm going to grab him. I can put him in my flex as a tight end here, and he might be a quarterback over there at some point. But he's probably not. I just like the points, and or I could just drop him and pick anybody up. I always want to have somebody that I can just like feel comfortable letting go and not feeling that, I want to hold on to him for whatever reason. Sometimes people would just fall in love with your draft guy so much that it's hard to like find a guy that you want to drop. And he's my guy that I could just let go. It's okay. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to feel bad about it to get the guy that I need or, bye week guy or whatever happens at that point. So that was my thinking on those. And then we got Mr. Irrelevant. No, just kidding. The last pick there, Neanderthal Ball.
Hold on. We got some questions in the chat before you get to the next team. So we got Snags in here, and I don't know if I've seen your name before. If you can, make sure you hit that subscribe button for us, man. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs. We're here on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Sunday mornings. Always taking your live questions here on the live stream. We do roster management, start sit, overreaction Mondays, waiver wire shows, active inactive Sunday mornings. So we're here for you 4 days a week throughout the season. So Brian Robinson or Mike Evans in the flex. Who you taking? Brian Robinson against the Cardinals, I believe, and Mike Evans playing against another trash defense in the Vikings. Who you taking? I'm taking B-Rob. I'll just answer first. Yeah. Go ahead.
I would take the B-Rob also. I'll take a ready
against those Cardinals. Might be an 80-yard 2-touchdown game. Let's go.
Yeah. Mike Evans, that whole, like I was just saying about them, I'm not touching the,
Not quite sure. I need to see how that offense looks with Baker first before I'm throwing him in.
Yeah, exactly.
If I have the option in that matchup against the Cardinals, they shipped away Simmons. I mean, they're actively tanking. So Yeah, go with B-Rob. And he also says Cooper Cup's falling in the 3rd round. Are you guys drafting a lot of Cup? Unfortunately, I did on the sister league, the league that this league spawned of that you're seeing here. And again, this is a real live money draft, mine and Frank's home league. Little spin-off league here that we did, tight end premium, full PPR. And he goes here at the 304, which is kind of what you're starting to see, even kind of like Underdog. That's about where he's slipping to, maybe late second.
Before injury.
Yeah, I happened to take him the day before he got hurt. And so I took him in the second, but he had already fallen to the 204 for me before when he was still healthy, before the setback. So to me, I thought it was a great value, but now you're seeing him fall even around maybe even 2 later. So I personally stay away from him just because, they're saying he could be on IR, which scares me when you start hearing that kind of talk, that it's not just like, oh, he's day to day and should be good for next week. It scares me when they're even floating around potential IR, which is minimum 3 weeks on top of this game he's already ruled out for. So that's already 4 weeks, which is almost a third of your fantasy regular season. So it's kind of tough to, third, 4th round. Yeah.
Hopefully
still a lot of,
he gets healthy and he comes back and wins your league. I'm hoping for that. I haven't. But it's not.
You have to draft accordingly. You have to draft wide receiver heavy. You have to be willing to wait on your tight end and wait on your running backs. So there you go. Hopkins over Mike Evans. Yeah, I'll take Hopkins.
Yep, Hopkins also over Mike Evans. No problem. We just got to see what happens with over there in Tampa Bay.
I need to see it. Granted, Hopkins is going up against who is that? Or Marshawn Lattimore. I think he's going to be active playing against the Saints at Saints. Might be a tough matchup, but Nook is Nook, man. He's seen it all.
He's a seasoned vet.
He's gonna get like 10 targets, so I'll take that. I don't know what Evans is gonna get, and even the quality of targets, who knows what it's gonna be. So I'll still take Hopkins over Evans. So there we go. And he said right, so I think he was agreeing with what we were saying.
You like what we're saying. Yeah.
Get right. There we go. Get right. Plug it. Get right. Help you get right. All right. So go ahead and say Jerry's team, and we'll get the heck out of here.
The 12th guy.
Or I'm sorry, Neanderthal. Didn't mean to blast them out like that. My bad.
You're talking about, hey, don't tell me.
I know, my bad. I've been doing so good. I've been trying not to say, I know I said Bobby's name once. I've been really trying not to say everybody's name.
Again.
Yeah. My bad. Sorry, guys.
It's all good. I'm sure they're okay. They know we love them. So we got Saquon Barkley here. Derrick Henry went 2 RBs. DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel. Then he goes back for Dalvin Cook. And then Mike Williams here. And then he snipes us, or, kind of grabbed Rachaad White. We were debating on getting him. I was hoping he'd come back. But that's all right.
And if you got him, then I would have got D-Mont. We would all been happy.
We would all been happy. Exactly. I don't know what you're doing there, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry. You messed up our roll over there, man.
But he gets Aaron Rodgers here right after Rachaad White. Gets the Dalton Schultz over there in Houston. Was in Dallas. Hopefully he does well over there. He's been, he's a good tight end right there.
Just worries me that he was like splitting time in the preseason. I don't know what to read into that. There's just a little weird.
Just keeping him healthy. A lot of people did not play. I mean, I don't know how many teams didn't play.
Yeah, but it was with the first team. He was rotating out with the first team. Like, it wasn't like, oh, they just played him a couple plays and then he kind of sat and the rest of the starters still played. Like, it was like a real rotation in packages. But who knows? Again, it's preseason. Maybe they're just working on different packages. So,
right, yeah.
I hope he does. I'm starting him in Dynasty, so yeah.
I just think it's keeping him healthy and rotating, like you're saying. I really not reading.
But y'all snipe me plenty. Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in between us.
Yeah. You don't want to be around us. Or like, who we want. Alan Lazard over there. So he's stacking right there with Rodgers as well, and he had Lazard on Green Bay before, so who knows? Maybe he knows something we don't know. DJ Moore over there, Chicago.
No, Darnell Mooney, the other one.
Darnell Mooney. Sorry.
It's all good. It's getting late.
Darnell Mooney here. Brock Purdy. I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, but good for you. Hunter Henry.
I like the pick, Jerry.
Las Vegas guy. He finally gets another Las Vegas guy over here for Jerry's Raiders.
You did it down too. You called him by his name too.
It doesn't even matter now.
They already know now.
Oh yeah. So now we got last pick, Ferguson, who I was looking to snatch up as well. Sniped me. He did snipe me there. The only snipe he did get me on mostly, and the Rashad White, I don't think you were going to pass up anyways. But I was just making a choice
One can
of
hope.
taking Cook over White anyways. I was just hoping that you had enough white running backs at that point because you already had Barkley
Taking the risk. Yeah.
and Cook. Why would you take White? And I was thinking maybe he's going to get a wide receivers, tight ends, whatever in that situation. You didn't need another running back, but you ended up taking him anyway. So good for you on that. But hopefully he doesn't pan out. I'm just kidding. So we got Ferguson again. He did snipe. Good pick there. Gets his two tight ends there. So that finishes up our teams here.
Good draft.
I'm happy with my guys. Took a little bit extra tight end, and I'm just again, it's just a waiver wire pick up and drop off type pick for me, so that I can get a tight end or quarterback when I need one, or whatever it is that I need to do. Or if he actually plays well and maybe he stays on the team and somebody else gets dropped, and I got a wide receiver tight end there in my last pick, because I'm always about those players that have the slash designation. If you can give me a running back, wide receiver, running back, tight end, wide receiver slash whatever they are, and they actually slot them in, especially if you have a flex. Those guys are money. They're usually the players that have a nose for the end zone and have good talent. Obviously, they can play multiple positions, so I'm always happy to pick up a slash player.
There you go. So I think that I was just trying to check something out. Okay. Oh yeah, no, he's listed as the second tight end. I thought I heard or saw somewhere that he was listed as like the QB3 on the team.
He is listed on the QB3. I don't know why.
I just looked in Sleeper. It's not on there. It hasn't listed as
well. 3-4 sites that I'm aware of have not changed them as such.
Okay.
Into the quarterback position, spot. But I'm happy for that. I'm glad for that.
You could start like a tight end in your. Exactly. You can start a quarterback in your tight end spot. So
yeah, he's not a
You need a lot of injuries to happen, but
that to happen. He's not. But
yeah. Good night, Jerry. Or Neanderthal. Dang it.
Yeah, he's doing good. So I think that the
cat's out of the bag.
The coach even said that it was just paperwork reason that they did that. It was just something that I think probably just fill in the 32-man roster or whatever it is to figure out, paperwork wise. Who knows? Maybe they're paying him, because of what they're paying him. They have to put him in the quarterback because he got paid. He didn't.
For sure.
Not an expensive guy over there.
It was like $100 million or something. Yeah, that's enough Taysom Hill talk, I guess, for the stream.
Yeah. That's
Wait, I like how you worked it in there. All right, so Snags is in here saying Drake London. This will probably be the last question of the night here. We'll get out of here. I appreciate you guys sticking around. For those that have still been here, y'all degenerates just like us, trying to just make time go by, man, until this game gets here tomorrow, man. We're less than 24 hours away. 24 hours from now, man, we'll be taking it all in. I'm sure I'll be watching the replay. Yeah, the All Coaches 22. I'll be on it, man. I'm going to be watching. I don't know how many times I'll probably watch this game until Sunday. So we got Drake London. Buy you some time there. So Drake London over Terry and Chris Godwin, you think?
Chris Godwin. Maybe not over
now,
Terry.
Chris Godwin, I would rank it Godwin, London, Terry, I think.
Really?
I think so. Who do the Commanders play again? No, they play Arizona. Oh. I think I go Godwin, Terry, London, I think. Again, I want to see Ritter. I need to see what he's going to do against real number one defense. They're I was like, they're playing each other. They're playing against the Panthers. So again, good matchups. At least you have some good matchups, but I'll take Godwin, Terry, and then London. Who you got?
I'd take Terry, London, then Godwin. I'm still going to see what's going on over there.
There you go. I think Baker and Godwin is that slot. I know he could throw those routes. It's those deep routes to Evans that him and Brady were connecting on that I don't think Baker's not going to be able to do unless he's like wide open.
Yeah.
Like he's not just going to throw it up there for Evans to beat it out like late, because Evans beats people late in the routes because he's so big. Like he may not look open, but you could just throw it to him. So we'll see. I mean, again, that's why I want to see how many shots they're going to take. So there you go. So we're a little divided on that. Do with it what you will, Snags. We'll be back here on Friday, Classic Mike and I, so you'll get another take. Maybe we'll split the difference there and get you right before Sunday. We'll be back here on Friday for Start Sit, game-by-game preview. So other than that, man, we've been here long enough, so I'm going to skip all the outro stuff. We'll just see you guys here on Friday, man. Really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out here with us here on Get Right. Again, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, hit that like button for us. Like 40% of our viewership comes from non-subscribed people. If you're one of those, just take a second to hit the subscribe button for us, man. Help us hit 1,000. So with that said, man, for Classic Mike, for Dustin, for my boy Frank here with me tonight, for all of us here at Get Right, man, we hope you had some good drafts. Put all that knowledge that we did here in the offseason, getting those drafts in, rolling our sleeves up. We have football tomorrow. Let's get out of here. Peace out. We'll see you on Friday.
Wanted to write fantasy is the play. Marking off and but